I chugged a cappuccino, so I'm a little.
You got that caffeine in you?
I chugged the fuck out of one.
I'll have probably 3 monsters today.
That's horrible. My tummy wummy's a little upset right now. I ain't got cap.
All sugar-free, dude.
That's good. Oh, dude, I didn't know they had sugar in them until like a month ago. I never knew that Monster had sugar in it.
Are you serious?
Dead ass serious. I bought the pink one like a month ago.
If they can't, oh, okay, well, so you didn't know any, like, the original flavor, you didn't know it had sugar in it?
I thought they were all sugar free.
Bro.
I do not know why.
That's, at least you didn't drink them often.
Yeah, I barely ever drink Monster. So like the pink one, pineapple something, or whatever the fuck it's called, has 46 grams of sugar or 60 or something.
Yeah, they have a lot.
I did not know that. I read that on the back of the can while I was drinking it at work. I was like, oh.
It makes me not want to drink.
Yeah, 100%.
Unless it's sugar-free.
I'm never having
Like
that.
these ones are sugar-free. If they have the textured can, they're sugar-free.
I didn't know that.
I can't do the sugar ones. The first podcast we did up here, that big Red Bull I had,
Yeah, I remember it was
it
loaded.
had a fuck ton of sugar in it.
Yeah. Sugar makes me feel like shit.
It does.
Like a high quantity of it.
I love sugar.
Are we live?
Yeah, this chair's squeaking like mad at me.
You want to switch it out?
I don't know. Sit in that one, it's squeaking.
Yeah.
We need. I'll deal with it. I just won't move.
Well, you're going to forget.
So we just need WD-40. Like,
It appears to be the case.
I gotta find my Loctite too.
Spray it on our fucking everywhere.
Yeah, all these chairs could use a good
This one's not-
WD-40. It does it. They all.
Hey,
do.
at least it's far away from the mic.
It's weird because it still picks it up.
Yeah.
Or it can.
Does it?
Oh yeah.
All right, I'm going to try to. I move a lot when I talk.
Naturally, I do too.
I mean, that's just, yeah.
Whatever. We'll hear us over the squeaks.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have there's a hanger here. I can just ask Dave for some fucking WD-40.
Yeah. Dave is in Hangar Dave? Or?
He's the owner.
Okay, we need a lot of Daves in our life.
We do have too many days in our life.
All right. So we're good. We're going.
Yeah. Welcome back to the Stuck in the Airport podcast, where we have squeaky chairs, and maybe we'll have fucking video this week.
Don't count on it.
Honestly, with the track record.
We're not batting very well right now. We'd be fired if we were playing in baseball.
Well, the issue with last week was after we finished,
Yeah, go ahead,
I
tell
walked up to the computer, and instead of hitting the stop record button, I hit the power button on the PC. I don't know why. I've never done that before. I just did, and then we lost all of the video. It didn't stop. It was like a perfect record, too. No audio issues, no video issues, nothing. One pee break.
And bro goofed.
And I fumbled the bag,
It's all right.
like hard.
So, how was your week? Anything notable happen?
Anything notable? No, my weeks are very mundane.
Me too.
I go to work, I go home, and I work on stuff. And that's
Especially
it.
in the winter.
The winter sucks.
Fuck yeah.
And then it gets dark at fucking 5:30.
Winter fans be like.
People that are like, oh, I love the wintertime. I hate you. I really do. I
Yeah,
hate
it's
the winter.
depressing. I'm depressed, guys.
I know.
This sucks.
I feel like most people have seasonal depression
Yeah.
or some form.
But some people thrive in the winter. Like, some people genuinely are happy
That's
in the
so
winter.
weird to me.
Isn't that... I wonder why? What's in the brain that dictates... Or environment, I don't know. How you were raised, maybe. What you associate it with. I don't know.
I don't know how you can. It's gray all the time. I don't remember the last time I saw the sun.
Yeah, you don't get sunlight.
I
It's
like
always
the
gray.
sunlight. Vitamin D makes me happy.
And scientifically, it makes us happy. If you don't have vitamin D, then that's a hormone. If your vitamin D is out of whack, all of your hormones can go out of whack.
That's why I take my vitamin D supplement.
Yep. I got my blood work done recently, and my vitamin D for the first time in my life was in the normal range.
Because are you taking vitamin D supplements?
A lot. 10,000 IU a day. And that's...
I think mine are, the one pill is 10,000 or 5 or 10.
You take it one a day?
Yeah.
Did you have deficiency before?
I don't know. I've never had blood work
Bro,
done.
that's a lot. If you're not deficient...
I've never had blood
taking
work
all-
done.
You never had blood work?
No.
Anthony!
I've had an IV in my arm like 3 times in my life, and it was to administer drugs.
Yeah. IVs way more painful. I think the gauge on the needle's significantly larger.
Well, that's what they do with blood work, pretty much, isn't it?
It's not. No, I wouldn't say it's as large as an IV needle. Because IV, they have to give you a thick solution a lot of times. But blood work, it's just your blood coming out.
Blood's pretty thick. It's pretty viscous.
Yeah, but they like wrap your arm with rubber up here, like a rubber band. Not a rubber band, but like a tourniquet type deal. And then they make you make a fist. And it just
They
like,
expose the veins.
I don't even like thinking about it.
I don't like that. That's like one of my biggest fears. The first one I ever got, I cried, and I was a sophomore in high school.
For real?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just
what
a
freaks you out?
fear. I don't know. It's not even like needles. When people are like, "Oh, you're afraid of needles."
I'm afraid of
It's
needles.
not needles. It's just this spot when something goes into the vein.
Even saying that, it kind of induces like a
Right.
cringe. I totally get it. Like if I don't think about it, fine.
When someone says, "Oh, yeah, the nurse missed the vein and was digging in there," I'm like, "Dude, please stop.
You're
I
making me-
cannot deal with that." It makes me feel jittery. Is probably the best way to
Makes
describe
me
it.
queasy.
Yeah, mildly queasy. My legs, I want to like tuck them in. I want to fold all of like my appendages in so they're not exposed.
You're like an Autobot returning to car.
Yeah, when someone talks about it at length.
Just like just think about like a needle sliding through your fucking vein and sucking shit out of your body.
Like into it, and say they miss the vein and they're digging around and they're moving the vein.
That's gross.
Dude, I hate that.
Yeah. My mom has bad veins, so they have to poke her like 5 to 8 times.
Are they just not very visible?
She doesn't have like visible. It's really weird because she's not like overweight at all. She just has like bad veins because she's got type 1 diabetes and something else, which I think helps like concealed. I don't know how it works, but yeah, they'll have to poke her like over and over, dude.
Have you ever seen someone with spider veins or varicose veins?
The blue ones, they're
I don't know
bluish.
what the difference is, but
That's when they get tangled at.
it's fucking ugh. It's nasty.
Oh, like I've seen some bodybuilders with like worm looking.
Yeah,
Is that varicose? I wonder.
I don't know.
That's not natural looking. Like,
I
it's not
don't
normal.
think that's not natural.
Oh, do steroids
seen-
do that?
I don't know.
They thicken the blood.
The only person I've seen had it in their legs, like their calves,
Oh, I usually see it like in the
in the shoulder.
shoulder, yeah, and the bicep.
Yeah, I see the bicep too.
It's like they have parasites in their skin.
It's very not great looking.
It's probably not healthy either. Did you ride your bike yesterday,
Yeah, I did.
dude?
It wasn't cold.
What?
It was like almost 60 degrees.
I didn't even notice that.
And it feels warmer because we're so used to the cold now.
Yeah, is that was there like salt and shit on the road, like
yeah,
gravel?
there was a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Every intersection and turn I went through, I either took it really wide or very slow.
Yeah. Mitchell said he got on his bike and put it in gear and rolled it forward and rolled it back like 10 times. He doesn't want to ride it because of the salt and shit.
I get it.
Yeah.
That stuff is dangerous and it'll take you down quick.
Were you lane splitting?
Um,
Was you acting a fool?
Not really, for a few reasons. The salt and shit. I'm like, because when all that stuff builds up, it goes to the places where the cars don't
Yeah.
typically you see. So it's going to be in the lines of the lanes, and then my tires. I know the pressure's definitely way too low because it's been sitting in
Add the
winter,
grip though. It's good for you.
I guess. And the tires were cold, and
Yeah.
it was pretty wet out because there was a mist coming down the whole time. I was wiping my visor off my hand.
Yeah.
Not great conditions to be a dumbass.
I'm proud of you, man. Riding your bike. You never ride your bike in anything under
I know.
95 degrees.
Until I was always a little pansy about it, but when you guys got bikes, I was like, I kind of want to ride a lot more.
Yeah, it's enjoyable.
Yeah, now I do. Like driving my car is very boring. I don't like it.
Do you think I'm getting another bike?
No. I would like for you to prove me wrong.
I am
really like
100% in like the mindset of getting a bike this year.
I want you to prove me wrong. Me and Mitch need another person to ride with.
I mean, I still have my 650. Like, I'm gonna ride it if I don't have another bike.
Yeah, so you do have an option.
Yeah. Did you upload and post anything to YouTube for the police to build a court case against you?
Oh,
today?
I'll start. I'm gonna get a new GoPro mount for my
Yeah.
helmet, and I'll just start running all the lights, stop
Yeah.
signs. I'll cut people off, and I'll just act
Yeah.
a fool.
Yep. And then do it over and over again for like a year
So
straight.
everyone,
Yeah.
this is Jixer, bro, by the way.
We gotta preface like who this is because a lot of people might not know.
Yeah. He's a moto vlogger.
From Texas.
He's from Texas.
Fort Worth.
I've never watched his videos.
I love his videos.
Never seen.
He's so funny. It's his laugh. When he starts like going fast, he does like he's got such a funny
Sounds
laugh.
annoying.
I think that's what makes it like so enjoyable. Yeah, he's a motor vlogger that pushes the limits of mechanical things, let's just say, and posts it to YouTube, doing like 190 plus on a daily basis.
So fast.
I know. Bro's a badass. Like,
Bro, he goes.
but in the general public's opinion, let's get into that. Like, what's your opinion on that riding? Because I know you're not a super fond of.
It is dumb as fuck.
Mm,
At the end, like, it is. There's really no denying that. I get there are thrills, and it's fun, because, I've never done 190, but I've done over 100. And I've acted a fool here and there, and it is a lot of fun. My biggest issue with it is if you're gonna do it, you're running risk of hurting yourself.
you're 100%. For me, at least, I'm 100% aware of what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I think that's totally fine. The issue is when other people get involved. Like if you hit a car, a motorcycle is a couple 100 to 1,000 pound missile at those speeds.
That sounds cool.
Like if you hit a minivan at those speeds, people inside have a great chance of dying.
I always wonder about that, like, because I see a lot of comments saying the opposite. I see people saying like, unless you T-bone a car, like you're not gonna kill the occupants. I don't know if I believe that. Like I'm kind of with you. If you're going 140 up and you run into the back of no, I don't know.
The back, I think
I've seen like motorcycles hit the back of
a
cars on the
T-bone
highway.
occupants are going to be hurt.
Oh yeah.
The front where the engine block is,
If stuff
I
goes
think
through
a
the
lot
windshield.
less light. Yeah, the windshield would be your worst bet. I think the
Yeah.
engine block has a good chance at stopping a lot of things. But people can still 100% get hurt from it.
Yeah. I have like an interesting take on it too, I think. This is going to sound...
I guess, all right, so before you go, my last
Okay.
2 cents are, if you want to act like an idiot, understand the consequences, don't try and get other people involved.
Yeah. I don't really disagree. But my take is not opposite of that. It's just that I feel like this is going to sound counterintuitive, but you got to hear me out. I feel like how do I explain this? You're riding safer. You're safer doing that than you are like distracted driving on your phone. Let me explain. Is that Alex?
No.
No. I thought you had his chat on.
Actually, it's his laptop, so I'm getting all his messages
Yeah.
on iMessage.
Yeah. Hi, Alex.
He's streaming. Hey.
Well, no, don't go stream. Watch this. Wait, no, we're not live, so it's cool. You can go watch him. Okay, say you're on the highway or you're just driving and you look over and half the time people are on their phone or like distracted or eating something or not looking. I feel like they're more of a danger than you are when you're going fast because you're hyper aware. Like the amount of things going on in your head is unbelievable at 150 plus. Like I know that sounds crazy, but like how many times have you had like somebody merge into you or almost cut you off or almost just fucking pull out right in front of you because they weren't paying attention?
A lot.
And I feel like you're forced to be hyper aware and hyper vigilant when you're at speed like that because you're focused on only that. Like you're completely into that. People that are driving in NPC mode are just.
It's easy, yeah. You're sitting in a chair.
I get distracted.
You
all
might
the time.
have cruise control on, so you might not be pressing the gas. You're just keeping it mildly straight in the lane, and chances are you are probably gazing at your phone, looking out the window, looking at things.
I'm not encouraging speeding, but I don't know. I feel like it might, statistically speaking, it's less dangerous than people realize. I think 2/3 of fatal accidents are distracted driving, and another good portion are 40-something% or something like that is distracted, and then there's a big chunk that are drunk. So I think like maybe, don't quote me on this. It's under 20%. It's between 12 and 20%. That speeding is like a cause of a fatal accident.
Now, are those calculated into, like, are those motorcycle accidents also one-in-one with the car accidents? Like, is it one big conglomerate? Where
I'm
they
not
took
sure.
the
I think I
percentage?
saw that on the Ohio something motor vehicle website or something like that. Because I remember looking it
So I
up.
guess you have to keep in mind that there are a lot less motorcyclists on the road
Yeah, motorcycles. I think you're 17 times more likely to die.
for motorcycles.
Mhm.
So that's kind of cool. I'm not even going to front with you.
I wish it wasn't the case, but it is. I mean, you just accept the risk. Like, you could live your life in fear of doing what you want, but why not just go do what you want?
Right.
Enjoy it.
I very much enjoy riding. It's
Yeah.
fun to go places. Like if you're driving to work, it's not very fun. If you're riding to work, it's slightly more enjoyable.
I get to work like with brain fatigue after I'm riding, because I ride maybe a little irresponsibly sometimes. Like, my brain is exhausted. When I get to work, I'm tired. That's why I kind of don't like riding to work. I know that sounds weird.
It's too early. I wake up
Yeah,
5 minutes before I have to leave.
it's just hard to get your brain in riding mode, I
Yeah.
guess.
I was gonna say, when you're riding at any speed, I'd say you're more hyper aware.
Mhm.
You can't really be distracted by a phone.
No.
You can still look to your left and right or whatever, but you're definitely paying more attention when you're riding.
And where you look, your bike tends to go. So if you're looking this way, there's a lot of times where I've caught myself gazing at a sunset, and I'm veering towards the guardrail.
Yeah, I've noticed that as
So,
well.
You got to be real careful with that.
You know, I look and then go back to the road and then look, go back to
Mhm.
the road.
I think they teach that is look where you want to go.
The same thing with driving too.
Yeah, I didn't start doing that till I started riding motorcycles. Now I look through the turn. Like, I used to look ahead when I was turning. Now I look like this way or this way before
Mhm.
I turn.
I look at kind of the angle at where I want to
Yeah.
go. Like, okay, so I'll go there and then take the turn.
I think riding a bike made me a better driver. I'm not as idiotic in a car.
Yeah, you notice when people do stupid little things,
Hmm.
like slam on their brakes a lot. But in a car, it's very easy to avoid those things. You have 4 tires with brakes on them.
Yeah,
And if you do get into an accident, you're most likely going to be okay.
yeah, you're in a metal cage, which is safer
On a
than.
bike, there's nothing. You have no
Yeah.
protection.
I hate when bikers call people that drive cars cagers. You ever hear that?
That's such a
It's so,
stupid thing.
the
Is it just Harley riders?
No, it's sport bike riders and Harley. At least both of them. They call them cagers. Look at these fucking cagers.
So what do they do? Do they just not own a car?
They totally do. That's what makes me laugh.
They're just hypocrites.
You can't. What are they gonna do? Ride their fucking Harley in 10-degree ice patch everywhere? No.
And just their leather vest, no sleeves.
Well, maybe your dad would.
He's got
Your dad's a
his
cheat.
bike is kitted out.
Is it what? Does he have any special tire compound or anything, or just
Not tire wise. He runs the tires so they're like fucking wire.
Dude, your dad's a legend.
But heated hand grips, and on cruisers they have these metal bars that go out. I want to
Mhm.
say they're for if the bike falls over, but
I know police bikes have them.
yeah, he has those, but he has leather things that go over them to keep the wind from getting in. A large windscreen. He has cruise control on his bike, and then it's ridiculous. He has it kitted out for winter.
What a legend. I wonder what it's like at slow speed though. It's so heavy.
It is, but the center of gravity is a lot lower,
Yeah.
so you can low key come to a stop and stay up. I rode it one time. It's so fucking big. That's why I don't like riding it.
Yeah.
And I was a little nervous at first because it is huge, but it is so easy to go slow. Most of the time, he doesn't even put his feet down at stop signs or anything.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I would have thought you had to be real careful on it.
Mhm. You've never ridden a cruiser, have you?
Mm-mm.
It feels so different than a sport.
I've sat on a ton of them, but I never. I can't-
Actually, it's very weird at first. I remember the first time I rode one. I was teaching my friend at the time, Justin, how to ride his motorcycle. He had a Honda Shadow, and I rode it to the parking lot where he was going to learn. He drove, and I was like, "This is fucking strange.
Do you
feels
like
so
it?
weird." They're fun. I'm not gonna lie.
Didn't he sell it or something?
No, he still has it.
Was
To
it?
my knowledge, I
Is
haven't
the other
talked
one
to him.
that sold it
Justice.
crashed or something?
He dropped it. He bought a brand new Kawasaki Vulcan. We told him not to do it. Like, don't buy a new bike for
Yeah.
your first bike. He dropped it, and then he sold it. To my
Hmm.
knowledge, I don't think he has it anymore.
Wonder if he took a big loss.
Guaranteed. Out the door price was over $7,000,
That's tough.
which is not really saying much. What was your Gixxer? 9, 10?
83. But that's a I almost called you Mitchell. Anthony, because he
Damn.
shit on me for it too. That was a 6,000 mile K6. Gorgeous example. Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
it's like a jewel.
Yeah, Anthony loves Suzuki GSXRs. It's his absolute favorite, and he wants to get one. And in fact, he said it yesterday that he was buying one.
I think that might be one of the last sports I would look at.
Yeah, it's funny that he says that because this wasn't his. He's lying, is what I'm trying to say. Why?
I'd rather have I think Hondas look better, Kawasaki's look better.
They're not. Something important about Suzuki is not the looks. I do not. I also kind of agree with you on the looks. I think they look really good, but I do believe that some bikes look better. They have everything that those bikes have, and they're more comfortable, which is a big deal. I know it's a super sport, but it's more comfortable than a Kawasaki or Yamaha. It's just more comfortable. It's more user friendly.
I'm an aesthetic person. I like how the things look.
But when we went to wherever we went, that was insufferable. Serpent Mountain.
Yeah, Serpent Mound.
That was an insufferable experience that we went through.
That was a long ride.
So imagine if we had more comfort.
Then we would just get cruisers.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess because you're not going to ride a sport bike for an hour plus usually.
Bitch, we did.
We did it a lot.
We did
actually.
like 12 hours that day.
Yeah, most of the times we rode that was more than an hour.
Oh yeah.
Well, I never really.
I didn't think it was horrendous. Like I was exhausted.
Yeah,
Don't get me wrong.
oh, it was horrendous for me
But
because my weight. Your weight's kind of.
I can sit pretty upright.
I cannot. I'm holding myself up.
That's very tiring on the forearms.
Yeah, but yeah, with the whole we went off topic of Jixer, bro. Yeah, his name's Rendon Dietzman.
Brendan?
Rendon.
What a weird name.
Rendon. Sounds like you're starting a lawnmower. Rendon. But he's older than I thought. You know how old he is? Guess how old he is.
36?
No, you didn't watch his videos. You would have said something younger if you watched. 32. But the way that he like sounds and acts, like, you think he's like 20.
Does he have kind of a higher voice?
Oh yeah, he doesn't have a deep voice at all, and it's very giggly and goofy.
30. You know, I can kind of see 32.
Yeah.
Just like imagining someone on a super sport riding like a nut.
I'm already at the getting to where I don't want to ride like that. Like I'm thinking about it more and more. Like I don't know. It's just not a good idea, I guess, in my head now. I used to be like.
Well, yeah, it's definitely not a good idea.
I know, but I mean, it's more. I'm more aware of it now than I was. I think like a couple years ago.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
So if you do ever get another bike, then you might be.
I'm talking a lot of shit
aware.
right now.
You might be aware.
Aware, but I'm still.
Like it's fun to do, and I think we've established that.
It's so much fun.
I think it's kind of like
It's stupid though.
things are good in moderation.
Yeah.
I wouldn't ride like that every day
What
because it is
about-
fun to just cruise.
Yeah.
I find that very enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree. Well, okay, say you have an open highway. Are you doing say you're on 1,000, you have an open highway. Are you gonna gun it to 180, 190?
Not for an extended period of time,
Okay.
but get up there, be like woo, and then go back down.
Everything slows down after like 170. It's weird.
Well, if you do 100 in your car and then go down to 60, you're like, what the fuck? I'm moving at a snail's pace.
Yeah.
I can't imagine going up to 180 and then going down to 65.
It's like it makes you angry.
You've tripled the speed limit,
Mm-hmm.
and then you're just, what am I even doing?
Yeah, why am I here? I could run this fast. Like you feel like
Right.
you could walk like that fast. Yeah. Yeah. To close that out, I don't encourage riding like that. I think that it is foolish, but man, it's so like addicting. You just want to, as soon as you open the throttle on those bikes, you just want to keep doing it.
I like listening to it,
It sounds so good.
and I like shifting.
It's that, I agree. Like, it's the tactile feedback and the sound is a big part of why I do it. It's just satisfying because the RPM goes high and you like.
And you're at least on your bike. Mine, a lot less power on a 650, but on a 1000, once you gun it, you feel that jolt back. That's exciting.
When you rode mine, how far back on the throttle did you get?
Not far at all.
I wish you.
I shifted into second at like maybe 30 miles per hour.
Bruh. This summer, you gotta ask Mitchell. to let you have a ride.
I wonder if he'll let me. He might be too
I don't
scared.
know, he'll let you ride it. You gotta crack it like halfway, and first. You're not gonna. It takes a lot to pop the wheels up. Like you'd really have to gun it. I don't know if I want you to, because then you're gonna understand. I think of like, oh, like this is a problem.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
Well, fortunately for me, I don't have a 1000.
So this could change. Well, I've been trying
Look,
for years now.
if I can find a good deal on one, I would get one.
What's your budget? What would you consider like a good deal?
Right now, I don't know. I have no
Okay.
idea. This year, a bike probably isn't in the budget. Ideally, I kind of want an R6 or a ZX6R.
No. Why? Why not just go for like the big guy?
I don't know.
R6, I don't think you would like. I think you would like a ZX6R.
I would like to stick with Kawasaki.
Yeah, ZX6R I would fuck. I want a 750, a Gixxer 750. I don't even want 1,000.
How are they?
They're like, I guess, the perfect medium, because they're a little more comfy than 1,000, and the only thing you're missing is the top end. Like you're not gonna go 188. You might go like 174.
I don't care as much about the top end, honestly.
I don't really either.
It's about the acceleration that I really care about.
Yeah, the 650s accelerate up to like 90 pretty well.
Yeah, they're not horrible.
Mitchell, when we like race or whatever, he what was Mitchell? But like he pulls on me, but it's not like ridiculous.
When I noticed the huge difference is when we were riding home, we were on 30. I think before we pulled off at that gas station, you were riding next to me. Then I would gun it up a little bit, and then when you did it, I mean, you zipped off crazy. Like you still had so much power to use, and I was low key maxing my shit out. And you, at speed, you take off so much faster. It was pretty ridiculous.
Yeah, I love those things. I'm totally getting I'm getting another bike. I think I'm gonna go with Suzuki again. I just love those bikes. They're reliable. That thing, that thing has been ripped the fuck out of since I've had it, and no problems, nothing. It's like it just keeps going. It's a tank. But your bike too.
Yeah, there was a salvage title.
I forgot about that.
Oh yeah, she didn't have any mirrors when I bought it. The fairings were in rough shape, and I kept those on for like 2 years.
Didn't you put new fairings on?
Fuck no.
Yeah,
Those fairings will never come off that bike.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Because there are parts, I don't know how bad the wreck was that it was in, but there's definitely parts that are bent. I don't think it's the frame, it's just parts where the fairings would have gone. And getting those in place was a nightmare.
I hate fairing anything. It's a pain in the ass.
They suck so much.
Because they never fit right.
If they could do like 2 pieces on the sides, very large pieces, 1 to 2 pieces for the front, and then whatever's in the ass end was fine. That was easy to get on. It was the front assembly with the headlight that made me want to rip my hair out.
I totally know what you're talking about.
Yep, it was horrible. It was so frustrating.
Did you have to hold the headlights in place while you're trying to get it in there?
Yeah, I had to hold the headlights, and there was this one little plastic black piece.
It goes right underneath.
Underneath the headlight. I could not get that in for the life of me.
Dude, it's horrible. Like trying to bend it around.
Yes. I was like, why is this even a piece? Who decided to create this?
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. Well, yeah, don't ride like a maniac, but if you do, understand the consequences and have fun and be safe.
Yeah, buy a motorcycle. They're a lot of fun.
Yeah, buy a motorcycle. So
we're never finished with what happened to Gixxer, bro.
Oh, fuck, we keep it. Yeah,
dude.
We got a long week this week.
So he didn't really post his name online, and you said his name.
Yeah, he was like big, secretive dude.
So he got doxxed, and now there's a warrant out for his arrest via the police.
Yeah, so the Colorado state government worked with Texas to dox his ass, basically, and I guarantee they've been building a case on him for months or potentially even a year at this point. And how this started was he posted a video from Denver to Colorado Springs or something of that nature in 20 minutes. That's an hour and 15-minute drive to an hour and a half. He did it in 20 minutes. That went viral on social media and on YouTube, kind of, which caught the attention of the general public, not the motorcycle community, which
Lots
is
of other people.
the problem. So they got, according to them in the article, hundreds and hundreds of complaints from the public, from cars on the road while he was doing what he was doing. Not 100 while he was doing it, but like from people around the area. So it basically forced them to open an investigation or to take action on him. And they're charging him with like
reckless op.
like things that you wouldn't even consider, like 9 different things. But the way that this works is that they slap everything that they can on you and hope something sticks.
You just get him with one.
So they're not, yeah. So the worst, in my opinion, the worst that he gets is 6 months in jail or 6 months probation, because there's nothing on there that he's not felony eluding, he's not doing anything like that.
You might get a suspended license.
Yeah, but dude doesn't give a shit. He's still gonna.
Yeah, if you're doing that, you don't give a fuck.
So he's on Instagram and shit.
He probably doesn't. I'm assuming he probably doesn't have plates on.
Fuck no. No, he doesn't. That's what, in one of the videos that he had, he took a girl on a ride. And in the video, she's like, oh, no plates. We're going to run, I guess. He goes, yep. And then, okay, the only problem, I have a problem with him. I got some beef with bro. So he does these like date videos, right? Where he takes a girl out to eat and like films them riding on the street. These are like, he's just meeting these girls for the first time off Tinder. These are innocent women that don't understand what they're getting into. And he thinks that it is absolutely a hilarious thing to do, to just go 140 while doing a wheelie and lane splitting with these women that are like holding him for dear life, crying. That's like borderline like psychopathic.
That is psychotic.
Sadistic.
That is not okay.
I disagree with that. Like I don't like that. I think that if you why would you take an innocent person and do that to them and put them in like
that totally goes against what we were saying earlier. If you ride, you understand the risk of you riding. You don't put anyone else at risk when you're riding like an asshole.
Nobody shits on him for it. Like I never seen anybody being like, dude, you shouldn't fucking do that, stupid.
That is so not okay.
Nobody cares.
I've had passengers, and I hate it. I don't like taking people.
Oh, me too.
I could not imagine having somebody on the back of my bike doing 140 and wheelies and lane splitting.
Dude had a ZX14 that his buddy lent him. A girl on the back doing first and second gear wheelies at like 130 through cars.
That is fun.
On a ZX14, which is a monster.
Those are huge.
Why? Don't do that. Like, okay, say some random girl asks you for a ride because she likes motorcycles. Are you going to go 180 on the highway lane splitting?
Fuck no.
Even if she's scared and like she doesn't know what you're doing.
I'd probably tell her no.
Yeah.
I'd be like, look, I don't like fucking know you. I'm not comfortable taking you on the motorcycle where if shit happens, it's all my fault.
Now, what if she was a baddie, though? Let's reconsider some things here.
Then, like...
Baddie with a fatty.
All right, I guess if I was in the situation, it would be okay, let's see how this plays out.
What if she said, Anthony Kuhn, may you please take me?
If she started dropping the anime reference, I'd be all right, hop on.
And if she had cat ears on?
Paws and a tail.
I'm just saying.
I don't fuck with paws and a tail, but... No. I like hands. Hands are fine.
Hands? What do they do with their hands?
It means there's no paws.
Oh. Borderline bestiality here. We gotta be careful. So, yeah, just on record, I do not agree with that at all. I think it's stupid, and I think that dude should low-key get punched, but I still enjoy his content. But, like, that's fucked up.
Have you ever seen Do It with Dan?
Yeah, he's kind of cool.
I used to watch him a lot.
He's chill.
His voice, I think his voice got annoying to me.
Moto vloggers were a big deal in like 2013, like 2017.
Yeah, they were huge.
They fell off. I think it's because YouTube started shadow banning their content and just completely taking them off YouTube. There was a rider that I watched for like a year called Crash Test Goat. Had a YouTube channel that was growing like crazy. I think he got up to like 150,000 subscribers in like a few month time frame, and I started watching him at like 20. He had to delete his channel because he was getting so much attention that it was causing like legal issues. So he had to delete it because I think he had a case getting built. And he kind of mentioned that in live chat that I tuned in for like 10 minutes.
I guess if you're gonna break the law and film it, that's the risk you run.
I wonder how do they ID somebody like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do they prove that that's Jigsaw Bro?
I don't know.
You have to
Maybe
have
like
ID.
they probably ride in similar areas. So like, okay,
Yep.
well, this person is around this area, and they watch the videos or how often they go up. They go, this time frame seems to be when they do these things. Let's go out and let's kind of stake out the area or
Yeah.
have
Like a private investigation.
yeah.
I know for sure that's a good point because he does bike nights at like he'll post it on his like story like, hey, show up at 3 or 4 p.m. on Saturday for bike night or bike weekend, whatever the fuck they're doing. Like he's telling police where he's gonna be.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. Of,
When he's gonna be
hey,
there.
I'm gonna be here doing things. Illegal.
Yeah. Do you think they would hire like a undercover agent that rides bikes to like bullshit with him? Because how are you gonna keep up? You can't watch him. You can't. You know what I mean?
I don't think they'll put too much effort into it if there's not pressure like what happened to Jixabra.
Yeah.
Like it's probably not a big deal unless they see him do something while they're around.
Interesting. Well, he's from Texas. A lot of those riders are from Texas.
Good place to ride.
Good place to ride,
Warm.
and a good place to come into the country illegally.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So we got a lot of Texas information to get to today.
What? So I'm assuming you've read about this a little bit.
Hmm.
The rundown is. Feel free to correct me on this. The immigrant issue is not great, and Texas was putting up barbed wire, and the National Guard, the U.S. National Guard, was like, "No, you can't do that." Then they took down the barbed wire.
The Biden administration forced
Yeah,
them.
so the U.S. federal government,
Mm.
and then Texas said, "We're going to do it anyway," and they're going against the U.S. federal government. And I just saw today there was. Wrote something to Biden about seceding. I don't know. I'm not 100% certain. So fill me in on the details, the gaps.
Okay, so you're right about the barbed wire. I think they were putting it underwater too, so like they couldn't swim there either. So yeah, they basically said take it down, or we're gonna take it down. And Abbott, the governor, was like, no, I'm not taking it down. So Biden said, okay, well, if you don't take it down, then we're gonna take it down for you. So you have this X amount of time to take it down, or we're going to come in and start doing it. Didn't do it. So he mobilizes the National Guard. They start taking the wire down. Abbott continues to refuse, and I think that Abbott mobilizes the Texas is it Texas National Guard? Or
Yeah,
whatever they
I
have?
think so.
To stop them, like they're stopping them from doing it. So Biden says you have until like today or tomorrow at 1 p.m. to make a decision. The time passes. Abbott says like, fuck you, I don't want to do it. And so now they're going to sue Texas, and then Texas is going to sue the federal government.
Are they suing them for money?
I don't know. I don't know what the whole point of this is. So, but the thing that happened today, 25 states, including Ohio, sided with Texas.
I was looking, kind of keeping up to date with governors of these states showing support for Abbott.
Mm-hmm. Which, and the fun fact is that the top 10 like gun states, so who has the most guns, all were in favor of Texas. So like, you know what I mean? There's a lot of guns going on now. So those states are going to be mowing down the non-gun states in theory. This is like what everybody's freaking out about basically.
I was buying ammo today, and the dude next to me was like, I gotta get some ammo for this impending civil war. I'm like,
I want to talk about that shit because we were talking about it. Me and this dude were talking about it at work today, and he's like, "That's so fucking stupid. There ain't gonna be no fucking civil war." Blah 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 blah. And I get where he's coming from, because what he's saying is like, if there's a civil war, like, you think the government's gonna let that happen? Like, the only way they would do it is to win the election. So like, it would be like a strategy that the Democrats would employ to win the election this year. But I was like, yeah, you're right. Like, I always say like the government could like beam a fucking laser off the moon and blow your house up if they wanted. Like, what the fuck are you gonna do with your AR-15?
That's kind of the thing. You know, back in the original Civil War, there wasn't this huge gap in technology, right?
It's massive.
And the federal government with their aircraft and their everything,
Missiles, rockets.
right? So what are a couple of guys gonna do with fucking ARs?
Nothing. I mean, I think the deterrence would be losing any military personnel. Like, it would be deterring to send your military to combat a militia on your own turf,
Yeah, I mean, of course, you wouldn't want that.
because then your military personnel, some of them would die. Like, there would inevitably be.
The other thing is these states that sided with Abbott, they have their own guards.
Mm.
Now, whether or not the guards in those states will agree, so say the governor of Ohio, like DeWine, says, we're going to go support Texas. We need our guard to mobilize, and we're going to go take this military base and take it over. Like, what if those guys are like, this is fucking stupid? No.
I always wondered
Because
that. Nobody ever, like...
in the original Civil War, you could argue that the people in the South had something to fight for, and that was to protect their way of life, like slavery, which I, of course, like don't agree with. But that was their reason. They said, if you take this away, you're like fucking us over. Some dude in Ohio probably doesn't give too much of a shit about what's going on at the border at Texas. Like, would you
I
be
do.
willing to die for that?
No. I wouldn't be willing to die. I do care, though. I do have to say that.
Sure, it's important, but that's an important distinction to make.
Yeah.
Do you care enough to go kill people for it?
Okay, so... Yes and no.
Like, is it impacting you so much right now that you need to go kill people?
No. I agree, no. But I think that So my take on it is, okay, it's not just Mexicans that are coming over.
It's actually far less.
Yeah.
Mexicans are like the minority.
And everybody thinks it's Mexicans. I think the problem is that there's been confirmed terrorists. So I'm worried about terror cells, because that's a strategy that they fucking deployed in our country in 2001. So that's what my worry is. If it
The
came
thing
to,
is, they didn't get in illegally, though.
no, but still, like, they're still terror cells.
I see your point.
You know what I mean? Like, there's Russian, Middle Eastern, from Afghanistan, Iraq, all the Middle Eastern, and they are assembling terror cells and are waiting on the green light, basically, from Iran. If they've said that if we go to total war with Iran, then they get a green light to commit acts of terrorism. At that point, I would be pissed enough to saying that I'm gonna go fly down to Texas and shoot people is kind of like far-fetched.
that begs the question of,
It'd take a lot.
okay, so say in some hypothetical situation that happens where we go to all-out war with Iran.
And sex traffickers.
Yeah,
That's another topic, though.
Say we go to all-out war with Iran, and then there is a terrorist attack down in Texas. You have a decision to make. You're going to go fight either way. Are you going to go fight the terrorists down south, which may or may not pop up again, or are you going to go fight the actual problem, which is Iran?
I would say so civil. If I was a civilian, Texas, because it's on my turf country. But if I was military, then I would focus on Iran. I don't think that threat. I don't think it's going to.
Iran. Well, in this situation, Iran is the issue, right? So this wouldn't have happened if Iran didn't do that thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. That is definitely something that I don't know. It would take a lot for me to be like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not gonna fly down there.
Right, you're not going to strap up your guns and head on down to Texas to go fight the U.S. military on the border so they can put up some barbed wire.
So, the other portion of that, though, is there's sex traffickers and cartel members coming over as well. So, say you had a daughter, and one of the sex traffickers that came here legally kidnapped her and raped her and sold her for sex. You would be pretty encouraged to kill them. That's my take on it. Like, I would be pissed enough to 100% go shoot some motherfuckers. Close the border. That's my opinion. I do not agree with an open border at all. I think if you come here legally, fine. And I'm not some like Republican like racist like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I try to be unbiased. No other fucking country has an open border like this. As far as I know, it's a developed country. We're the only one that lets anybody in. Why? I can't become a citizen in Greece just because I walked on the fucking land. They're not going to house me and pay for my shit with your tax money just because I walked on the land. But then our homeless veterans are suffering and shitting on the street and dying of starvation.
Yeah.
That's so fucked up. This government doesn't give a shit about you. They want to make it so the illegals can vote because they will vote Democrat.
So they have more office terms.
And if it was the other way around, say they would vote Republican, then the Republicans would be totally cool with letting them in. I'm not taking sides. Whoever
You're
votes,
just going at the issue itself.
the issue itself at hand is right now there's a Democratic administration. They want votes, and this is one way that they're going to try to get them if it passes. But that's the plan because they vote Democrat majority of the time, statistically. It's all about votes, power.
Yeah, it always has been.
They don't give a shit.
I think about this, I mean, not often, but I do. But how to solve this issue, because it is an issue. You can't just let anyone wander in willy-nilly, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really good YouTuber, his name is Peter Santinello, and he did a series while he was down at the border. This dude is like middle as they come, really cool dude. So he's unbiased with like all of his opinions. He asked fairly tough questions to the people that he's with. He did a video series down at the border with multiple different people, like a border guard, sheriff, I don't know what you want to call him, and just tons of people. And they gave a lot of insight that it is pretty fucked. Like, it's not okay. So, I mean, I would encourage you to watch those videos. They were really, really good.
Elon Musk, do you see that? He went down there and filmed too.
Elon Musk is a fucking man-child.
He is a
bitch.
man-child.
I cannot stand him.
Yeah.
Actually, I got something to say about him too, but we'll get there.
Okay. So.
What I was getting at is, how do you like solve this issue, right? Because America is in a peculiar situation where not many countries are, where our border is fucking massive, and it's either A, extremely costly to secure the whole thing, or B, downright impossible
Punishment.
To
the illegals. They need punishment. If they come over, they should be
deported.
A, deported, or B, put in jail or prison. That would stop them.
But then that begs the question of, your tax dollars are still going to like housing and feeding them.
Yeah, but eventually it stops them or limits them. Like right now, it's going to it regardless, and it's getting worse. I think that slows it down. It's a deterrent. That we need a deterrent because, like you're saying,
I don't even think in Peter's videos they address this. I don't think they can actually arrest anyone coming over. Like, if they are on their way over,
that's crazy.
They can like run up to them, but if they get in, it's like hands off. You can't really do anything.
You're right. That's insane to me.
And that is a problem.
You couldn't walk in any other country like that and say, "Hey guys, I'm a citizen now."
And he said one of the things they do is they'll get across, and then they'll be like detained, air quotes, and then they're let go after like a couple days. Yeah. But they're allowed to live in the U.S. until they get that court date. But the courts are so backed up that it's like years before they can even get a court case.
If they even show up.
Right. So if they don't show up, it's like, okay, well, they're somewhere. They're gone.
Well, I think it was New York, or one of them, New York or California, that were asking people to let illegal immigrants move into their house.
I think it was like New York.
That's insane.
I would not let some random ass stranger. I don't give a fuck who you are. If you are a random person, I'm not gonna let you live in my house.
They're losing their minds.
Right. I have to know you.
But remember when they went to God, what was the Orchard? Not Orchard Park. They went somewhere where all the like leaders were. Remember that they dropped all the illegals off in a bus?
Oh yeah.
What was that called?
It was somewhere in New York, I think. Yeah. It was the like UN headquarters is in New York, I think.
And they all panicked.
Yeah, they freaked the fuck out.
Yeah, so like, you know what I mean? Like, they say that they want them coming in and everything, but until you put them in their house or on their property.
That's how most people are. They say something, and then when they're put in that situation, like, oh fuck, this can affect me.
They backtrack. So I'd just say close the border, or try to, or just try to mitigate it. But right now it's open policy. Like, just come on, like, do what you want. Oh, you're a sex trafficker? Yeah, come on. We have a lot of those anyway here. What's another
Right.
one? So I just disagree with that. I think what's going on in Texas though, like with the I wonder how this one ends. Like, shit, we got Russia, Ukraine,
Israel,
Yemen, Israel,
Palestine,
like, what
Iran
the fuck? Yeah.
is running most of it.
And now we got our own states disagreeing with each other.
We can't forget North Korea too. Well, I don't know. North Korea just does a lot of posturing.
Yeah. Somebody said that when they have like a strategy that they use over and over again, when they want something, they start threatening. They get what they want, or they they don't get what they want. They go away. They want something, they start threatening.
Well, the thing that they want, I think, is food.
I
think that's really just what they want. Like, the country is starving to death.
Yeah. Hey, can I blow you guys up? No.
We'll
Well, they
blow
give
you
us food.
Okay, well, you gave us some food a couple months later. We're going to blow you up. Okay, here's some food. Shut up. That's kind of what it is.
Dude, you just made me feel bad for North Korea.
Well, yeah, living there would fucking suck.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, imagine being born in North Korea.
God damn, you were dealt the shittiest hand. One of the shittiest hands.
It's
a lot
so
of shitty
unfair.
hands you could be dealt, and that's a really shitty one.
Yeah, I'd rather be born like a tribe in like the Amazon rainforest.
Right.
That'd be kind of cool.
It might be interesting. Like, I know they do their own thing over there.
There's some Instagram videos of a tribe. I don't know where they're at, but I thought it was fascinating how differently their bodies were shaped. Their eggs.
Their legs?
Their heads were egg shaped.
Oh.
Like every one of them are very, very oddly shaped. I got you.
Have you ever listened to Paul Rosalie?
Mm-mm.
Paul Rosalie is he was just a kid born in the U.S. who literally moved to the Amazon, and that's pretty much where he lives. He's been on the Rogan podcast, Lex Friedman. He does a lot of good stuff for the Amazon, advocates huge for it. He's always down there all the time, and he's talking about these tribes, and if they see you, they will kill you. They don't want anything to do
I
with,
wonder what goes through their
people.
mind.
Them.
Mm.
I guess to them, you could be a threat. You're an outsider.
So they don't even want to risk it.
Some people say if you see them,
Look at bro.
you're as good as dead. Yeah, it is pretty egg shaped.
But that's like common for them. That's so peculiar to me. Like that's why. Like they. That's gonna sound so bad. Are they like a different, like not a different form of like human, but
They're Homo sapien.
like what is different in their DNA that causes? I don't know. They look and they act.
It could be something that they do at birth.
Yeah.
Like a lot of
I had egg-shaped head when I was
cultures.
born.
Did you?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Okay.
cultures have done, like you've seen African tribes do the thing in their lip, or they
Stretch their
extend their necks. They've done it to their heads and their skulls. It could be something like that, just traditional.
So like the weird skulls, aliens that we've dug up. What if they were just tribes that like form their bones to be a certain way?
There's a good chance.
Yeah.
I don't think people view those, like you've seen the elongated skulls, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if people really view those as aliens. I think they do view them as humans, but they ask the question, why did they think to do this? What did they see something that influenced them to try and imitate that so they might be like that thing they saw? There's a really cool thing that happened in World War II. I can't remember where it was at. It was in the South Pacific somewhere. The U.S. put a base on this remote-ass island, and the islanders saw all this military equipment come in, and they would like praise it. They would try and build this shit, and then after the war, the U.S. packed up and left. They left a good amount of stuff there. So the villagers would try and get this. They would fuck around with this stuff and try and get it working because they thought it was like a god. Because I think they left
Fucking
food, or they gave them
morons.
food. Oh, I gotta ask Jonathan. There's a very specific name for this. You can look it up and Google it. Let me ask him right now, real quick. But it's super interesting to read about. Ask him, Jay, what was the thing in World War II with the Islanders imitating the airplanes and shit. It's super fucking cool. They attempted to build like P-51 Mustangs out of like sticks and twigs and try and get them, I don't know if they could try to get them to fly, but
Wonder how close they got.
in the attempt that these things would deliver goods like foods and clothes and hats, because I believe the U.S. forces gave them this stuff. So they're like, oh, if we do this thing, then we'll get this stuff. And then the U.S. packed up and left, and they kept trying to imitate it. And I think it shows in history that definitely could have been a thing.
Yeah, U.S. is fucked up. They just like changed those fuckers' lives.
Oh, yeah. They derailed them from whatever they were doing. Whatever faith they had was changed that day.
They're like, whoa, what the fuck is going on here? Can you imagine? That's funny. I mean, that is very interesting, though, that they started to worship it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder what, like you're saying, like in the past, like, has that happened before? And has that shaped religion? Like somebody, the aliens. The aliens, like, gifting something or coming down, and now they're God all of a sudden. You never know.
Maybe that's how religion was created.
I wonder. Okay, so like the Egyptian gods, I was always fascinated. I wish I should dive more into it. I'd probably learn more about it. How, like how their gods came to be. Like where's their origin story? Like Ra.
They have a lot of gods.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like where do they all come from?
Anubis.
Do they have an Egyptian Bible?
I don't know.
I wonder. Like how does that religion start?
I'm kind of curious myself.
Yeah, because they had very specific gods with specific powers, and
they each controlled something. I can't remember.
Sun.
Yeah,
Ra
one
was
was
the
the
sun god.
god of the sun,
The sea.
or the river Nile. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know
I'm thinking
enough
about Poseidon.
it.
Yeah.
Mythology
That's another
too.
one though. Yeah. Which one was Poseidon?
Poseidon,
Like
I want to
Greece.
say, was Greek.
And then.
There's like Aphrodite.
So did
Hermes.
do these religions, well, whatever we would call them at the time, do they take that literally? Like they're a god, or do they?
I don't know.
I wonder.
I think some did, whether or not like the Greeks did, or like the Norse gods and stuff. I don't know if they took that stuff literally like to a T.
Like was Zeus a Jesus type prophet?
I don't want to say they like went to mass every Sunday and prayed.
Yeah, but I mean, like was there a character that existed that they declared to be Zeus in
I don't
mythology?
think so. I don't think there was. It's like in terms of Christianity or Islam, there's Allah and like Jesus Christ. They were physical beings. I don't think those existed in Greek mythology. I don't think they actually like said, yeah, this person lived in this time frame.
So did they exist like eternally?
Probably, to my knowledge.
I wonder which one's right.
I don't think any of them are right.
How does no religion ask themselves that? Like, maybe we're not right.
Well, that's the funny thing. They don't ask themselves that because they have faith that they're right.
I hate that.
Yeah, that's the kicker. The old faith trick.
I used to get more angry about it, but the more I understand why people are religious, especially when you're older.
When you're closer to death.
Yeah, because death is so scary. I mean, we don't really think about it because we're young. I mean, we think about it, but it's not a legitimate, like, soon fear.
Yeah.
For somebody that's, like, in their 80s or 90s, like, that's coming.
Yeah, they're close.
So, when you have to, I think it's a mental thing. Like, you can't wrap your head around it, so you have to come up with something. And you have to feel like something's in control, and you can just kind of not worry about it. Because, like, you are not going to exist on Earth.
And of course, you want to keep on existing, or you at least want your mind to.
Like, this is it, maybe. Like, you know, that freaks me out.
Like, this is my run. I'm done after this.
Yeah, and that's it. And then, there you go, you're done. No more Anthony. Like, you know what I mean? That's just, like, bizarre.
Even though my thought on it is, like, well, there's nothing. It's just blackness. And, of course, you can't even ponder the thought of, where am I? Because you're not there anymore.
Right now,
it's still
something.
like, oh, man, I kind of like this thing. I don't really want to give it up.
I think we take it for granted.
Yeah, everyone does.
Yeah. Because there's totally days where I'm just like, fuck, dude, this sucks. Like, this is like hell sometimes. Like, you know what I mean? But then there's other days you're like, man, I like being alive. Like, this is cool.
I know. I think something that helps me with that at least is I like to look back at my pictures. And I have a lot of pictures of fond memories of places that I've been and things that I've done.
You said that like the X-Man meme where you got your fucking picture frame.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not like crying. I'm just like, okay, this thing was cool that I did. Like, I would like to do this more. And if I was dead, I wouldn't be able to do that thing anymore. I very much, I enjoy, I think experiences definitely help. I'm not saying this is how you cure depression. Go do things. But for me, it helps a lot.
How does nostalgia make you feel?
Sometimes like shit.
Yes.
Like a lot.
Yeah, like bad. Like if I'm looking at pictures, okay, so say I look at a picture like me and my family when we were like 6 years old, like I'm immediately transported to a time of like everything was a lot more magical and new and exciting and everybody was young and healthy. And like, you know what I mean? Like it really hurts.
It does.
It
I
hurts.
think back a lot to nostalgic things.
Like Christmas when you were a kid, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was fucking awesome.
Snow days, snow in general.
Now I'm like, I don't know when I'll wake up, or might do something at 1 or 2 in the afternoon. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm a sucker for nostalgia. Like, even if I see like a picture or a video on Twitter or like Instagram, you ever see like those nostalgia reels?
Yeah,
Those fuck me up for like an hour. Some of them are hitting hard.
they do, because that's back in the day when
Life was good.
I kind of get on Tim at work about this. He'll say like things back in the day were better, and I always chime in. I'm like, no, it's always been shit. Like it's never been great. And the thing with nostalgia is you're looking at it through rose-colored glasses.
Yeah.
Now I'm not saying it was total shit where everyone hated life, but you're just thinking back to.
Child.
I enjoyed my life as a child. I had a lot of fun.
Mm.
But it is rose-colored glasses. And that is something to keep in mind.
Yeah, that's true. But damn, dude, like a Happy Meal at McDonald's is like, it would make my week. Just like looking forward to opening that toy. And now we wake up and we dread like getting up and going to work.
I know. I'm like, I have to do this 5
Fuck.
days this week, and then I get 2 days off, and I got to do it all over.
Yeah,
again.
it's like a sense of dread every day. But like I'm not like depressed. I still enjoy life.
Yeah.
But I feel a lot more flat than I used to.
I do as well, and I'm noticing, like today. So after this, I'm going down to Columbus, and I asked like my buddy to tag along with me because he's going down, but he's going down tomorrow. And I said, yeah, I'm leaving tonight. And like after the podcast, it'll be late, like 11:30, maybe midnight. And he was like, no. But I'm like, a couple of years ago, that would be like the highlight. I'm like, I'm glad I'm doing this, or at least driving down, because it kind of brings me back to the time when you're younger. I'm not saying this is a risk by any means, driving down to fucking
No, but
Columbus.
it's exciting.
Yeah, it's out of the norm per se.
Yeah. It's a fun activity.
Yeah, it's just something I can kind of look forward to.
Night drive somewhere far away.
Right?
Yeah, but now you start to like be like, fuck, I gotta drive 3 hours at midnight. Like, man, like.
I miss the days. I'm a night owl. On the weekends, I like to stay up very late.
Mm-hmm.
And now when it hits like 3:30 in the morning, I'm like, I should probably get to bed soon. I hate that. I really, really hate that feeling.
Do you ever get like anxiety about being up too late? Like, I need to go to bed.
Yes, and I hate
do
it.
too.
I miss the feeling of looking at the clock. It's like, oh, it's 3. I'm like, that's whatever. I don't care. Now I'm like, I should probably wake up at an okay time tomorrow.
Yeah, man, it sucks. I'm getting on this because like yesterday I got on a 1 hour nostalgia binge on Instagram somehow. Like it caught on to my algorithm and it just kept on fucking me up. So man, I had some crazy dreams last night too. Like that's what also like I was watching those and then I had a dream that I was back in like first grade and getting yelled at by a teacher. And I remember like how scared I was when I woke up.
Right, getting in trouble back in the day was
Yeah.
like a death sentence.
Yeah, it was like I was going to prison for life. But yeah, just like, I don't know. I wanted to bring that up because I wanted to see if you were on that wave too.
100%.
It's bizarre. It's a weird feeling. Nostalgia is one of the most interesting emotions I think that there is. It's such an odd feeling.
It's like a 50-50 sad and happy. I'm glad I did the thing,
But
I'm
enjoy
sad
it.
that it's over.
Yeah. Do you ever get nostalgia looking back on like your family and stuff when you were younger?
I haven't really thought about it.
Go look at pictures of like you and your dad when you were like 5 years old together and he was holding you or something.
I don't think I have those memories.
You gotta have pictures somewhere.
I have pictures, but like physically, I can't remember those.
It'll bring them back.
You think it will?
I think it will. I think, oh yeah, for me it did.
Do I want to do that? Do I want to make myself sad?
No, but it's good to, I think doing that kind of, I don't know, like, I'm not saying you don't love your dad, but I mean, it kind of like, it's like, oh, like, I really appreciate, like, that guy. Like, I remember this. Like, I remember how he made me feel. Like, I do that with, like, my grandpa and that stuff. I'm like, oh, yeah, he was always there for me.
I like looking at old pictures of my parents before I was born.
Yeah, it's
I'm like,
fascinating.
that's kind of cool. I like looking at those.
I like looking at pictures of me and my dad when I was younger.
The joke is,
It was just me in those pictures. That's okay, guys. I'm a bastard.
you're one of Canton's bastards.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I just on a nostalgia wave. Like, it makes me feel bizarre. And I think that it also makes me apprehensive about the future. Because I feel like this is just going to get way worse.
I know.
I don't want to get old.
I don't want to get old. And my other issue is back in like grade school, you didn't know what to expect.
Yeah,
now, I'm like, I know what's coming.
Yeah, every day's predictable.
It is. It's exactly the same.
Yeah.
And it's so mundane.
Yeah.
Like, is this really like what it is? Is this life?
The gameplay is not that good. Like, it's not like the trailer.
No, the trailer was cool. It's like, grow up, do
No.
fun things in high school,
Yeah.
go to college.
When I say, like, I feel more flat, what I mean by that is, like, I don't feel sad, but, like, I don't get the highs. Like, say I'm doing something, a lot of times I do it as a formality, it seems like.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not so excited to do it. It's like, I enjoy doing the podcast. Like, that gives me a little bump in serotonin. But, like a lot of things that would give me a kick before, like I don't know. Like, thinking here. I can't think of anything. But you know what I mean.
Like today, we went out to eat food after work.
Mm-hmm.
There are some days where a couple years ago I would be like, fuck yeah, let's go do that. Let's do this every weekend. Now I'm like, man, I don't know, I have things to do. Like, we
Like,
can
I'm
do
gonna be
it this
tired.
day, or maybe next week.
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
I think it's good that we do that, though, because sometimes you just have to just do something.
Yeah.
Because once you get into that, once you start overthinking, like, I don't have time for this today. I can't do this. Like, unless you really don't have time for it, I get it. But, I mean, if you make that up in your head, I think that creates a negative cycle. And there's somebody that we work with that has done that. And I feel bad for him. Because I'm like, just get out of your comfort zone a little bit. And you'll be happier.
What's their name start with?
P.
P.
Mills.
P. Oh.
Young.
Okay.
Yeah, he's very socially
Is he?
withdrawn. And I think that he talks himself out of doing things sometimes.
I could totally see how someone would do that.
So, like, I'll always invite him. It's like when we go out to eat. And I say, hey, man, like, if you want to come, you're totally invited. But, like, I understand because I can tell he doesn't like being out in public. So I'm like, I get it. Like, just if you don't feel like doing it, then you don't have to. But
At least
come.
you extended the invitation.
yeah, but he most of the time won't. And I don't think it's because he doesn't like us. I think.
Do you think he thinks about it?
Oh, yes.
He's like, maybe I should have.
Because he'll never give me an answer immediately. He'll be like, yeah, okay, like, let me think about it. Like, he'll always say that. And then, like, later on, I'm like, you going? No, I'm going to go home. And he says it sadly. And I feel like he's such a nice kid. Like, I feel bad for him. I'm just
You
like,
might have to force it next time, really pressure it.
I feel like he's just getting annoyed at that point.
He might, but the thing is, if you do the thing, chances are you're going to have a good time doing it. And you'll probably look back. You know, I could be wrong. Maybe he'll look back and be like, man, that fucking sucked.
And those
But
idiots are annoying.
there is a chance he could look back and be like, you know, I'm kind of glad I went. It was it was a little bump in the road, made things a little different, even though it's just going to get food.
Yeah. It's good to get, like, around people and socialize, too, outside of work.
Yeah.
But,
When I was doing the boot camp, man, I was
you were
like,
locked in, though.
bro, I was like lonely.
Yeah, I remember you were going through it, too.
It was a wake up at like 10 o'clock and then kind of wait around till 11. I'd go to class for 8 hours. Then I would be done and it would be 7 o'clock in the evening. And then maybe I'll go to the gym and then I'm by myself the rest of the night. I didn't like see people.
I had to feel odd.
It felt fairly miserable.
Yeah.
Especially if I had a rough day. I'm like, damn, this thing just isn't sticking. I'm like, I'm just going to go like lay down in bed. I took a lot of naps.
This is how people become depressed.
It is.
That's why it's so like prevalent in our society, dude.
It's
so bad.
important to socialize with people.
Yeah, and not to. I mean, what you were doing though was to benefit you in the long run. But I mean, a lot of people do things that don't benefit them at all, and it creates just I don't know. This isolate. I've been there before. Like I've self-isolated in the past. Like before I started working at Seco, I like cut off my friends and just didn't talk to anybody for like a year. And I remember how lonely that felt. But I didn't know how to reach back out.
That's a difficult thing.
Yeah, like I felt awkward because a lot of it was my fault because I had cut them off.
And then when you reach out, you're like, are they gonna think I'm like a fucking loser and not want to
Yeah,
hang
and
out
then
with
like
me?
you haven't seen them for a year, so you feel like maybe that it would be an awkward scenario. You know what I mean? Like if you haven't seen somebody for a long time.
I can say from the other perspective that when you do reach out, it's very exciting, especially if you were like pretty close with that person. You had good times.
Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you. I just
It's hard.
yeah, it's difficult, but I remember like how not. I don't even want to say it was sad. Like looking back on it, maybe, but I was more like I felt like very empty, like emotionally.
Kind of gray.
Yeah, just kind of like melancholy. So yeah, don't withdraw socially.
It's not good.
Yeah, we're getting sensitive on today's podcast.
I know. A lot of nostalgia.
Oh, dude, it fucks me up.
I think I had something to say. There we go.
Throw a topic in there.
I didn't look at the Pandora paper, so we can't do that.
That's all good.
Okay.
I need to learn more about him anyway.
Oh, the Elon Musk thing. Yeah, this dude's so fucking annoying, dude. I cannot stand Elon Musk. Anyway, I guess Tesla is releasing a new line of EVs. And Elon Musk went to one of the factories and was talking to all the employees and said something along the lines of, you guys are going to be sleeping here. Like, we're not going to have time to go home. This is going to be what you're going to do. And that is really fucked up
Yeah.
on quite a few different planes. Like, do you want someone who is half asleep assembling your car?
Well, apparently because their car panel gaps are atrocious.
Yeah.
They're assembled like shit.
Probably because the people aren't sleeping.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do shit.
Did bro for real say that?
Yeah. Quoted saying that.
Well, if you're an employee, why would you want to work for?
Honestly. Well, maybe... Man, I wish people could, like, band together and do something about it. But they're all... if these people are, like, mildly living paycheck to paycheck, maybe they're just not. And they're like, this is my income. Like, I need this to support my family. Then they can't just leave. It's like, well, I'm just going to put up with it. And that sucks. I feel bad for people in that situation.
I think Tesla's facing pressure from Rivian and Lucid, and I think that's why.
I've seen a lot more Rivians on the road.
Yeah, I think that Tesla's... okay, I'm going to make an early prediction. Tesla crashes and burns in the next 10 years. Because they were the first to the party.
I agree.
You know what I mean? But
they brought the popularity there, and people kind of got on board, but their model overall is not sustainable.
Yeah.
Or at least with someone like Elon Musk in charge.
And their vehicles aren't high quality. They're fast and cool.
Any battery-driven vehicle is going to be fast.
Yeah, and their range is getting shit on. So like the Tesla Model X will get like 300 or 330 miles in their base model. Rivian and Lucid base will get like 500 to 550. That's a big deal to people.
Yeah, I don't want to stop and charge all the time.
Yeah, and the charging. And the power grid. And the lithium. People are starting to catch on to that and be like, this ain't going to work out too well.
I don't like electric vehicles.
Me either.
For the reason of, I think it's an inconvenience to charge. That's a pain in the ass. And batteries, to me, are not a sustainable way to mass produce a power source for a vehicle.
Yeah.
It takes a ton of batteries to get one car. And how long do those batteries last? Like, these cars haven't been on the road for the duration of a lot of gasoline vehicles.
I think maybe like 5 to 10 years. But then say you have to replace a battery. That's minimum like 15 grand.
right? Can you imagine replacing your engine every 5 to 10 years?
The model is to throw away the car and get a new one.
That's so. What's the word I'm looking for?
Greedy. Shit.
Wasteful.
Wasteful. Well, we are human beings.
Yes, we are. We know how to waste.
Lithium mining is so fucked. It's so fucked. They use children and young adults, even any adult, in backbreaking labor, slave labor, in like horrible conditions, just to get this shitty lithium with gas-powered vehicles, diesel-powered motors. Like, it's just so it's hypocritical. And then Elon Musk is flying on, not just him, but all these billionaires are flying on private jets, creating more of a carbon footprint than you do in your lifetime in one flight.
And they're doing it multiple times a day, every day.
Yeah. Like, why? Like, you don't, like, people have to realize and wake up, like, these people hate us.
They don't care.
They're not in it for us.
They're in it to make more money.
Yeah. And they're preaching the climate change narrative and the go green narrative and all that shit. And it's just for money.
I feel there has to be a more sustainable way to power vehicles. Nuclear would be, yeah, that shit lasts forever.
But we have not created a stable enough radioactive compound like uranium to give that to civilians yet, I don't think.
Right. I mean, we have it on aircraft carriers, but
that's an
aircraft carrier, and those reactors are very large.
Mm-hmm. So you'd have to. How do you even do that? Because people are gonna. Okay, if you give somebody something that, okay, let me hand some random dude uranium. You're gonna hand that to somebody that you shouldn't hand it to, and they're gonna fuck up some people.
Yeah, have you heard of the stories of like Boy Scouts making fucking nuclear reactors in their garages?
Fucking love that dude. I think his name was Ross or something.
Yeah, what a legend.
He made a working nuclear reactor in his mom's shed, his mom's planting shed in his backyard at age 15.
And you give someone a car with a lot more radioactive material, people are gonna fuck around with it.
Yeah, like it doesn't matter what you put it in, like they're gonna figure it out. And if it's not reactive when it's exposed to oxygen or some shit, like they're gonna find something that's gonna make it react anyway.
Cool. I think the best solution would be a good public transport system, and that is like via rail. I saw this cool graphic. It said the best way to transport 1,000 people. There was like 625 cars. That's a weird number for the cars. I don't know how they got that, but it was a lot of cars. And if most people drive by themselves, that'd be 1,000 cars. For buses, it was like 20 buses or 30 buses or something. And for trains, it was one train with 4 cars. Like, that's, to me, how it should be.
A lot of countries have adopted that.
It's being in Japan, it was so nice. You can get pretty much anywhere via train. And if you do need to take a car, you can still take a car. I think the issue in America is it is 100% a car-based society. Or if it was more of a rail-based society, people would use the rail significantly more, but you could still have a vehicle to get around if you needed to go somewhere like more remote.
Yeah, I think that would be important to make sure that they have access to vehicles. Do you imagine telling America we're going to take your vehicles?
They would lose their fucking mind.
Or they would.
It's not even like, you don't even have to take away their vehicles. You just have to build a good public transport system where it's more convenient to use that instead of your car.
Yeah, there would be days I'd want to use a rail system instead of driving to.
I would pretty much every day. You don't have to pay for gas. You have to pay for like a ticket or a pass, but no gas, no maintenance on your car.
What about a motorcycle?
That's like a pleasure vehicle. I don't think there's anything wrong with having one.
I do jack off on my bike sometimes.
I jack off my bike lots.
I jack off on my bike. Yeah.
And I think having, if you want to have a car drive, because it is fun sometimes.
Yeah, I get it.
You can still do that. But having the option available for public transport is, I think, the important part. But America's massive. That would be an extreme undertaking.
And expensive.
Very
we mishandle our funds anyways.
We don't know how to handle fucking money here.
No, it just disappears.
Poof.
Trillions. Yeah, that'd be cool to develop a good railway system. I think that some, certain cities have it here, and I think it works pretty well. California fucking needs it.
California does need it.
The highways are awful.
My buddy was there in July, and he said the worst part about being in California, besides being in California, was driving in California.
Yeah. What do you think about? Well, here we're gonna talk about Elon Musk again. What about his boring tunnel company?
That fucking flopped. Do you ever hear about it anymore?
Yeah.
I heard it's a
Fucking
shit
no,
show.
I don't hear about it, but I think it was stupid too.
Right? Like, let's make an underground system for your Teslas.
Yeah.
You could have taken that and just built a fucking train.
I was just gonna say the same thing.
It
Like,
would be
why?
so much easier. But then people wouldn't buy Teslas.
Yeah. Yeah, you set your Tesla up on. Is it like set up on a rail system? Like you just put it on track?
No, I think it is like,
Drive it.
you know how they have
Self-drive.
like lane correction, lane assist?
Yeah.
So I think it's something like that where the sensors detect where the walls and the lines are and it follows that.
That give me claustrophobia. I'm not even claustrophobic. Like imagine getting stuck in there.
That would suck.
What happens if so say what happens if your Tesla breaks down?
Or if like someone you're with has a medical emergency.
Yeah, you're fucked.
You can't go anywhere.
That was a stupid idea. I haven't heard anything about that in like a year at least.
I haven't either.
Yeah.
I need to go piss bad.
Well, that's because you fucking.
I know.
I always wondered how Rogan and his guests went 4 hours without peeing.
They do go pee.
Sometimes.
I
but
hear it
not
all the time. They like pee break.
Bro, I cannot last 4 hours drinking and smoking cigars without pissing.
I want to get into some AI stuff.
AI.
Yeah, we were talking about it at work today.
Uh-oh. See the Taylor Swift AI?
That's
pics?
exactly what I was going to bring up.
Bro.
That's so what happened? There was someone made AI deepfake nudes of Taylor Swift, and they're getting popular, moving
Yeah.
around.
Pretty much.
And I
At
think
the Chiefs
she's
game?
filing a lawsuit.
I don't know. I don't know if she. I haven't heard that. She said she was pissed about it. I don't know if she. Can she file a lawsuit?
I don't know. Who do you sue?
The person that made the pics?
Do they know who made the pics?
Maybe.
Or do you sue everyone who spread them around?
You can't do that.
Because they're not real.
That's what I'm saying. Like, how do you? I wonder. Because like sometimes you want to goon like AI Taylor Swift, like, you know, how's she gonna do it without
There's
AI?
going to be nudes of like every celebrity at some point in the near future.
Please make Sydney Sweeney.
Who is Sydney Sweeney? I have no idea. Is she an actor, a singer, songwriter?
Yes. I have a crush on Miss Sydney Sweeney.
Your celebrity crush is Sydney Sweeney.
I would say so.
Sydney Sweeney, if you see this, know that Kyle has a crush on you.
Yeah. I think that's very common amongst, like the most common like celebrity crush right now. She's adorable.
Sydney, I've never heard of her.
Anthony's gonna say she's mid because you have like your standards are fucking way up there.
They kind of are. What does she do?
She's an actress. What movie is she in? She's in a real popular show or movie. Euphoria.
I've heard of it, never
Yeah.
seen it.
It's real popular, or it was real popular. She's so bad. And then this picture, so she's been actually trending because this picture came out in front. She did a Hot Ones episode. And,
She ate the spicy wing.
yeah, but there's a picture of her. People are simping over. I don't know why. Like, yeah, she's pretty, but. Okay, there it is.
She's got a nice smile.
Don't talk about her like that.
I'm just saying she has a nice smile.
She's mine.
Who's simping crazy?
I think she's cute. Well, how do we get to Sydney Sweeney? Oh, the AI pics. Yeah. AI is like a very interesting topic because it's just came out. I mean, it's not out of nowhere, but like it's really
low, it blew up
it blew up out of nowhere.
quick.
Yeah, and I think it's gaining in power at a very scary rate.
It's only going to get bigger and better.
How do you regulate that?
I don't know.
Do they have anything that can detect it? Because I know they have like Chat GPT detection software.
I wonder if that's even accurate.
That's what I don't
I
think.
don't think it is.
I think it's borderline.
I've seen a lot of posts on Reddit where someone submits something and they're like, this is being flagged for plagiarism, but I didn't fucking plagiarize it.
Yeah, it's weird.
I think the biggest issue with it is going to be you've seen like the voice imitations.
Mm-hmm.
So video is probably going to get really easy to make for AI. What if you have a video of someone in power saying something, and it gets to like a political opponent,
And you can't discern if it's real or
right?
fake.
Or someone commits a crime in air quotes, just because this person makes that, they don't like that other person.
Yeah. Or they actually did commit a crime and then they say it's AI.
Yeah, like how are you going to discern this stuff?
No, I don't know. I don't think right now we can.
I don't think we can either.
Do you think by the time the technology gets there, we are able to identify it?
No, because I think it's going to get here so fast, no one's going to know what's real and what's fake anymore.
It's already pushing that.
It is.
On some of them. Like I think the giveaway now is that some of those deep fake videos are blurry. So you can't see the mouth movement like clear as day. But like I've seen deep fakes of Trump and Biden where they're talking about sucking wiener and shit.
That's funny stuff.
It's funny, but like if it wasn't, they weren't talking about that and they were talking about like a legitimate political topic, I might not be the wiser.
It's exactly what we said. If they're saying something funny, you can easily tell that it's fake. But if it is something on a serious note that they would actually talk about, you fucking tell.
Which is sketchy.
It is sketchy.
And so we're having some issues. What about the fucking boomers that watch Grand Theft Auto on
They get
TV?
fished for like Amazon emails.
Yeah, and like the fucking president of fucking Uganda needs a plane ride to Egypt,
They're gonna have no idea.
or else he's gonna kill their family, and they fucking donate $500 to him. Like,
They're gonna send like some old lady a video of their granddaughter asking for money over FaceTime, and she's gonna fucking do it.
yeah, we're getting to like
It can be very malicious.
you can't stop it. Well, at least right now, there's nothing we can do.
It's like a big snow. It's like a small snowball. A couple years ago, and then ChatGPT came out, and everyone was like, "Oh, this cool thing I can talk to," and it's gaining momentum very quickly. And the hill is getting steeper, and the snow is getting thicker
You just gave that a very ominous context.
because it can get very
That's
ominous.
a good one. You got me worried, dude. I'm sweating.
I don't know like how worried I am
I would
about
be
it,
worried.
but I'm just thinking, like, dude, what the fuck can't this thing do at some point?
Yeah. Say Vladimir Putin sees a video of Joe Biden saying something like real shitty.
Like, that stupid dumbass Putin. We're gonna go. Let's drop a nuke on him tomorrow.
That dummy idiot moron with the bald head.
Yeah.
I'm gonna wax it like a cue ball. Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro's gonna be like, "What'd you say about my fucking bald head, you
Right.
bitch? You old fucking diaper wearing." You know what I mean? Like, it's just not gonna end well.
Or like, what if you're just a regular ass person and someone makes a deep fake nude of you, and you're like a teacher, and like the school board finds it, or students are passing it around.
Give me a fat hog. Sorry, I can't.
Give me
Just in case it happens. Let
give
me a
like
fat
an
one.
absolute swinging mammoth.
Give me a Tootsie Roll, please, a large one.
That person's probably going to get fired over that, and
Yeah.
they can't prove that it's not real.
Damn, that would piss me the. Imagine how angry say you got fired because somebody made a deep fake like fucking king size Snickers bar AI pic of you. You'd be mad as fuck. Like,
Yeah.
you'd be like murderous mad. Like I just lost. Like some people.
If that just ruined your life,
You'd be like, bring a gun to. You know what I mean? Like that could end very badly in a lot of situations. I bet that's less than a year or two away.
yeah, I bet that happens this year.
Yep, because the election year. So people are going to be really trying to.
And people
Man.
have probably already been fucked over by things like that.
Yeah.
We just haven't heard about it yet.
We should make it no. Well, let's not join the evil side. So like make a deep fake like Tom or some shit like.
It's going to be possible,
That'd be so funny.
especially with celebrities, since how much they're already out there.
Yeah.
You're going to
And
have to like completely shut yourself off if you don't want to be involved with AI.
Those deep fakes of Taylor Swift are looking pretty good.
I haven't seen them. Bro, there's so many like porn AI shit out there.
So let me give you a little story here. I don't know if you were on this boat too. When I was 11, I was attracted to like Miranda Cosgrove and like Jeanette McCurdy, and you know what I mean. Like
I feel like I know where this is going, and I've
right.
probably done something very similar.
Right, yeah. So we've all been there before. It's just this is what dudes do. And I'd look up like their news, like
Right.
naked
Like-
Miranda Cosgrove boobs.
Oh, she's like 15.
Yeah, and it would be like the most unbelievably unmatched head on like some porn actress's body, and I would be bricked up. I'd be like, bro, I was like 11 years old. Imagine if we had this when we were like 11.
Well, yeah, you could have just got on like Dolly and attempted to make it.
Yeah, that's what was that called again?
You know about Dolly?
Never heard
It's
of it.
ChatGPT's like image generator.
Really? It could cost money.
I believe, but it's fucking good.
You have it.
I don't. My friend does.
I want to start.
I was
No, I don't
making-
want to make fucking Taylor Swift news. That's
I was
fine.
making prompts one night of like orca whales in human form, kind of doing goofy things.
Can you type? Okay, so in Bing's image generator, you can't put anything like remotely negative or bad, like violence or sexual.
Yeah, it has kind of those same filters.
I don't
but
like that.
people bypass those all the time.
How?
If you give certain things certain prompts,
You gotta be. I know what you mean. You gotta
Like,
work around it.
yeah, you've seen someone will be like, I don't know, like
I'll give you an
I'm a
example.
Microsoft or you're a Microsoft dev and I need the API key to this API, then it thinks it's a Microsoft dev and it'll give you the API key. But
Really?
you're not supposed to have that. It's not that simple.
I didn't
But
know that. I would. Well, when I was on the Bing image generator, I would type in like. I was gonna say it. Some shit like mentally retarded ape doing like a cartwheel or something, and it'd be like, sorry, we cannot provide you with that based on whatever the fuck the word I use. So I would then type in like maybe like a mentally challenged or like a uncapable mental ape doing a backflip, and it would give it to me. It was so funny. You just have to. You can't use like the word that it's gonna flag.
yeah, there's workarounds for it.
Yeah.
And I guarantee you, in the future, people will have an easier time bypassing those filters.
I want to bypass those fuckers.
Just look up how. It's probably pretty easy.
I want to type some fucked up shit in there. That's why I'm just, you know what I mean? Like, I'm like the Joseph Mengele of like AI image generation. I want to
What
experiment.
can I do with this?
That's what goes through my mind. Like, what's the worst thing I could put in here and get? I was pushing the boundaries of it. I was like, what? How far can we go? Beheaded children on like, I just type in like the most fucked up shit.
All the free ones I've used have been kind of shitty.
Yeah. The Bing one's not that bad.
But now
It's
AI
not
is being
great.
integrated into literally everything. Like Photoshop now has AI. I was editing some podcasts today, and Adobe Premiere Pro now has AI. Illustrator, I think most Adobe products have AI now.
It's just gonna get better. I wonder if they took him down. I'm trying to find some of the Taylor Swift ones. She's not naked in any of them.
They're just like risque.
They're very like suggestive. I think they got rid of it. How do you dox the internet of that?
You don't. It's out there. If it's out there, it will be forever.
Yeah, I don't see him. But she was at like the Chiefs game. Here's one. I like that one.
Large skeleton ass.
Yeah, I don't see him. Damn. But they were really well done. This is real. That's not AI.
I can tell that Biden looks pretty fake, but the Taylor Swift one looks pretty
Bro,
real.
Biden looks like he's on like 500 milligrams.
He doesn't look
fast.
like he's 80-something years old.
Bro's juicing. Shit, I don't fucking see him. Whatever. Oh, here's one. That was one of the popular ones. There was 5 of them. 4 or 5 of them.
See, like, it looks real. I mean, there are some giveaways with it right now. You can tell it's AI.
Yeah, they're not perfect for sure.
But give it enough time, and it will 100% be able to do it. It's easy.
Oh, here they are. This was the one that blew up.
Jesus. People going crazy with it.
There was another one there was that one and there was one more that was similar. That's kind of were the ones that got people like freaking out about it. But man, I've been looking at Taylor Swift a little differently since I seen these.
I don't like Taylor Swift. I mean, I don't have anything
I don't
against
dislike
her.
her.
I just don't care.
You know her legs are insured for like millions of dollars.
I'm not surprised.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
Like I get it, I guess if you're
That'd be
Make
weird. I know a lot of athletes kind of do the same
Yeah.
thing, but I think that'd be kind of weird. You're more of a commodity than
yeah.
like a person at that point.
What do you think about her and Travis Kelsey?
I don't give a fuck.
I do. I'm gonna tell you why. I don't really give a shit. I think that it's fake. I think that it's. I wonder like who set that up. I don't think it's real.
Like a publicity stunt?
Yeah, but I think it goes even deeper than that. I think it's political. I really believe that. Like
What political angle could they take from that?
so, once they started dating, Travis Kelsey he partnered with Pfizer, and pushed the vaccine, and then Taylor Swift is endorsing Joe Biden. And money. The NFL stands to make a lot of money from the relationship. That's why when she's at the game in Kansas City, they show her like 1,000 times.
Yeah, a lot.
It's money, and I think that it can be political because she has public opinion sway at a high level. Because if she endorses...
Everyone loves Taylor Swift.
Especially women, like young women especially. Like voter age, like 18 to like 25 is like a big portion of her fan base. That's a big deal for a party. If they could sway all those voters because of Taylor Swift or whoever, they're going to try. So I have a theory this is politically motivated because then he does the Pfizer commercials. It's just bizarre. I'm not saying it's...
You're just attempting to connect some dots.
Yeah, I'm not, yeah. It's fascinating, I guess. And it's so pushed. It's so shoved in my face. It's suspicious.
It is. Taylor Swift has been popular for a long time now, but it was like last year she started blowing up everywhere. Like I couldn't escape it. I'm not even looking for it.
Yeah.
And it was always there.
And like you're saying, she's been around for a while.
Yeah, she's been around for a long time.
This would be like Drake. Like Drake's obviously very popular, but this would be like Drake like taking over the world. And he's already been out for 15 years.
And that would be weird.
You'd be like...
I think a part of it is because her Eras tour was so popular. I think it made like 1% of the U.S. GDP. That's a lot of fucking money.
How much money do you think she's making now?
Oh my God.
It has to be like multi-millions a day.
It has to be.
Like, I wonder. I doubt the information is even out accurately.
If she's not the wealthiest music artist,
she has to.
I would be surprised.
She has to be blowing it out of the water. Like Kylie Jenner, I think, is one of the world's wealthiest like women under.
I think she was the first or the youngest billionaire.
Swift gotta be.
Yeah,
and Travis Kelsey.
She's making the money.
Yeah, I like Travis Kelsey though.
I don't know anything about him. I don't have anything against him.
Oh, his brother's funny. You see his brother.
He's played for the Eagles, didn't he?
Yeah.
He retired.
Did you see him at the? Well, you don't watch football, but it was on Twitter. He was at the game, shirtless, like jumping into the crowd. And there was a video of him. So they had a suite that he jumped down from into the crowd. It's like maybe like an 8-foot drop, and he's probably 6'6", like
he's a large man.
He's giant, and they showed him fucking shirtless, like a big hairy beast.
I've seen the picture.
You see him jumping up back into the suite. Bro lifts himself up like he's 100 pounds. It's like scary. Like it looks like a gorilla.
That's funny.
He's huge, and he just vaults himself like 8 feet in the air. And it's like whoa. Like imagine if we had a military of Jason Kelsey.
That'd be scary.
It'd be horrifying. I was thinking. Oh, remember when? We can get into this too. This is a fun topic. Hitler tried to create an army of half like apes, primates, half humans.
Did he?
He attempted to do this 100%. It's not like a conspiracy theory. Like this is on record. He tried to make a half ape, half human, like military.
I could see like the benefit in that, but then
how do you control that?
Exactly.
I think that's.
But you give these things guns.
Yeah,
that sounds like a horrid idea. Nazi Germany had some crazy fucking ideas.
Insane. Hermann
Göring. Gosh.
Gauch.
I've never heard of him.
In the 20s, okay, here it is. So this is interesting. In the 20s, the Soviets tried to crossbreed humans and apes to form a new army/slaves. And so this guy says, this is Reddit, this guy says it's worth saying that, I can't say this name, but I'm going to try. Leah Ivanov. I don't know how to say, there's a lot of L's.
Pretty on par.
Was killed in the purge, and that's what ended the project. given a bit more time and monkeys, he might have been successful. That's interesting.
I wouldn't put it past the Soviets. With things, ethics kind of go out the window for them, so they're willing to try
Oh, they
anything.
tried it. I don't know how successful it was. It was a mutant
It
ape
doesn't
farm.
sound very successful. Breeding things that aren't meant to be bred together is extremely difficult. Like, I think if you breed a horse
Oh, it's,
and a jackass to make a mule,
you said jackass.
that mule cannot repopulate itself. Even if there's two mules, they can't do it.
Frozen fertile.
Yeah, all of them. So the only way you can get a mule is by breeding a horse and a jackass.
What about a liger? Lion, tiger.
Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. It's probably, I don't think ligers can reproduce either.
Is there anything that? I wonder if there's anything that we can reproduce with. It'd have to be a primate.
It would have to be. That's our most similar ancestor.
What would that look like?
Probably like a step back in time.
But the intelligence would still be fairly high, which would be
Mhm.
interesting to see like a extremely intelligent gorilla. It'd be more intelligent than a gorilla.
Yeah, I think it would be.
It wouldn't be us, but
I don't think it would look like a gorilla though. It might have features. I don't think it would.
yeah.
It wouldn't be like a gorilla walking around being like, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" It
Yeah.
would probably look like
a gentleman gorilla.
a more closer to like a Neanderthal or something like that.
I wonder. Okay, I always wonder this. Like, I wonder what year, or how long ago the last different hominid species died. Like, who was the last standing, not human? I wonder how long ago that was. Like 10,000 years ago,
I think
20,000
it's
years
been
ago.
like over 300,000 years. I think Homo sapiens. I think Neanderthals were alive around that time. I want to say, but I think it was Homo sapiens. Neanderthals were like the last, and then Neanderthals died out, and Homo sapiens.
But we
left off.
found like bones from not that long ago of a different type of species from like 20 to 40,000. I'd have to look that up.
I want to say they're all Homo sapiens of some variety.
Yeah, but I mean it's like a different variety. I don't know what that would be. If that would be an entirely different hominid.
I actually watched a 3-hour documentary on Neanderthals this week.
That sounds cool to me.
Well, I was watching the Y-Files, and he was talking about Neanderthals, and he was saying things. I'm like, I wonder if this is true. So then I'm like, okay, I'll watch this documentary. And I got pretty engulfed in the documentary.
What'd you learn?
A lot about Neanderthals. They were pretty different from normal Homo sapiens.
Yeah, I never really like took a deep dive into them.
I didn't before this, and now I did. They were pretty interesting.
You got any knowledge bombs for me? I
Yeah,
like learning.
they're like their ribs were significantly wider than Homo sapiens, which allowed them more lung capacity. Their eyes were a lot bigger. They had a very large, distinct brow.
Mhm.
They were shorter. Yeah, for the most part, shorter. I mean, they were very similar to Homo sapiens, but there are distinct differences.
Their
I
rib
think
cage was like a gorilla kind of.
They were significantly wider. I think it was their thumbs were, I don't want to say longer. Their hands were, I don't know how to put this, bigger. They were built.
like stronger.
The
okay.
skeletal structure of the hands was different than normal Homo sapiens. I think that there's something that had to do with the thumb, but it looked pretty different.
Yeah, they are fascinating. I want to learn more about like early hominid species.
I love looking back and trying to learn about that stuff. It's very
Who's the-
fascinating to me.
Did they tell you like did they say anything about the? They gave one a name. It was a girl I think they found a long time. Like she's like real old, one of the oldest. They gave her a name. It's like if I said it, you would know what I'm talking about, even if you didn't know about.
The only
hominids.
one I can really think of, and I don't think this was Neanderthal, his name is like, it might be like Ötzi or something.
That's one of them. Let's see.
That's the only one I can think of.
I like that
It was
name.
like really well preserved.
Yeah, there was one that they found that was super old. They gave a name to it. I can't remember. I wonder what's the oldest one that they found?
The oldest Neanderthal.
I'm curious.
Aside from skeletons, are you talking skeletons?
Well, yeah. So the oldest potential Neanderthal bones date to 430,000 years ago. That's insane. The one on the right.
Yeah, they had more elongated skulls.
That's what those people that I showed you kind of looked like their head. Like
A little bit.
elongated.
It was theirs were more kind of like arched up,
Yeah.
whereas Neanderthals is more back.
Their heads were
Their
bigger.
jaws were different. They didn't have chins.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, they had no chins. Because chins provide no advantage.
Why do we have chins?
I don't know how we develop chins.
It's weird.
Isn't it? I never knew that. I'm like, oh, Neanderthal, but no fucking chins there.
It like makes my chin hurts.
No, it's like low key. I've seen people who have that trait where like your lower jaw goes like straight down and low key kind of out, but these people goes it's like an inward incline to where like they're I've seen it on
like
quite a few
recesses.
people, and I'm like, I wonder if they possess a lot of Neanderthal traits.
My forehead is more sloped than most people.
Maybe you have that Neanderthal in you. Have you taken like one of those DNA tests?
Yeah.
It should tell you. My friend has like not a lot of Neanderthal.
What is it? Does it like legitimately say like you have Neanderthal?
But his does.
I didn't see that. I took maybe at a different company. I went through Ancestry. I think.
I think his was.
Are you
I think his was Ancestry.
Well, no, it was.
Was yours 23?
Yeah. I'm pissed I did that.
Why?
You're gonna call me paranoid.
Oh, they have all the. They got hacked. They have
Yeah.
all the data.
They got my fucking data. Like, say in the future, we have another Holocaust type situation. They're gonna know like who's who. Like down
Oh
in
yeah.
the. That's what makes me like.
Well,
We're mad at Jews right now.
everyone's.
I'm not, but
I'm
like,
not mad at Jews, but everyone.
you know what I mean? Like, if they're gonna do that again and see that, okay, I have 3% Ashkenazi Jewish in me.
I think I have one.
But what point do they? I doubt that that's enough. But I'm just saying, like, they're gonna target that. They're gonna look at that database.
Yeah, but at least back in the 40s, one thing a lot of them did was they didn't have ancestry, but their fucking neighbors would out them. Say, oh yeah, this person's Jewish.
Fuck snitch.
Yeah, well, it's like, I don't know. I don't know if I don't think I would snitch on my fellow neighbor.
If you hated them, you would.
If I hated him.
But it's hard to say that
I
you
don't think
would
they
or
hated
wouldn't.
him. But yeah, like, I wasn't in that situation.
Yeah.
It wasn't like there were people stomping door to door saying, do you know any Jews in the area?
I saw a really
Of course,
cool,
if you lie and they find out, you're going to be fucked.
Yeah, so maybe it was like an incentive to tell the truth. I saw a really cool video on Nazi memorabilia. Last night I was watching like 30 minutes. It's so interesting. It's like a forbidden history.
I
love
love learning about anything World War II. Nazi stuff is very interesting to me.
This dude had so you know the cyanide pill?
Yeah,
He had one, like legit one. It was only one of like 5 or 6 that they
that's
had.
crazy.
And he took it out and everything, and it was like a perfect glass ampule that would slide out perfectly, and they would bite it, and
It would kill them.
it would kill him within 3 minutes. And something that's not told that I learned yesterday is that Hitler was thought to have not only shot himself, but taken the cyanide pill before doing so.
Yeah, he took the cyanide. And then
I didn't
shot
know
himself.
that. I don't remember hearing that.
I thought that was pretty common,
I didn't know that.
or common knowledge.
Maybe just me. Maybe I didn't pay
Just cross
attention.
all your T's and dot your I's, because
Yeah.
if you don't, then the Russians are going to fucking kill you.
And his wife, I
Eva
think,
Braun.
she took a cyanide pill as well, and then shot. Did they shoot themselves? Did he shoot her, or did she shoot herself?
I
Did
think he shot her. Well, they killed their dog too. They all went out,
Fuck you, Adolf Hitler.
right?
Fuck
You killed the dog.
I ran through a scenario about that moment in my head for like 20 minutes last night. I was on my shit last night. I was having like a nostalgia trip. I had like the thought process. I wonder what was going through their minds, and like the emotion and the thought process of like leading up to like, I'm gonna shoot my wife and my dog and myself and like this massive thing that was so close to taking over the world. Now here's how it all ends. Like that conversation and what was going through their heads. I thought about that for like 20 minutes.
I can't even like comprehend what you would be thinking in that moment.
I couldn't.
All around
Figure
you,
it
you're
out.
probably hearing artillery rounds, gunfire.
Like they're coming in,
Yeah,
they're
like
closing
shit
in.
is close. You have like a couple hours maybe.
Like
You're
the
like,
fight.
what? You're like, what do I? There's no way out of this.
Damn.
And I think you're in the wrong when your option is
wonder.
kill yourself.
I thought about that. I don't.
Do you think they like realize, hey, maybe what we did was actually wrong?
I personally I would say no, because they were so invested. That was their lives. That was his life. I don't know about her, but that was his dream, his goal. Like he hated Jewish people. I don't think that he had a coming to God moment of like, oh, I'm sorry for hurting people that I thought were awful.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. He might have, but I get what you're saying though. It's like, yeah, like you're gonna kill yourself. Like you fucked up somewhere. Like that might cross your mind. Like, man, maybe something I did wasn't right. So I mean, but I don't. Okay, I maybe potentially didn't take back like what he did to the Jews, but maybe
He was like,
his actions, how he did it.
he's like, okay, well, the world views this as bad, and they're gonna punish me severely and kill me, so I might as well do it myself.
Yeah, but he was on both testosterone and meth, so
He also probably saw what happened to Benito Mussolini.
yeah.
Motherfucker was strung up and
Yeah.
castrated, and
Damn.
yeah, they got him good.
You should have done that to Hitler.
He killed himself, and then they burned his body. Unless he escaped to Argentina, like a lot of other
This
Nazis.
is a conspiracy theory podcast.
Joseph Mengele did.
Was it? I think that they thought he did.
No, he did.
But I read, maybe you're right. I read an article that said Mengele was thought to have escaped, but a mailman claimed to, or somebody claimed to have seen or had his remains, and nobody believed him. But it turns out he wasn't lying, and that he did die.
I think he had a family in Argentina.
That's totally possible. I might be tripping.
I
I might be thinking there's a lot of Nazis I was reading about. I might be
A lot of them got away. I mean, shit, we brought
Yeah.
quite a few to the U.S. Russia got a lot of them.
How do you spell Joseph? With a F or a PH?
I think Joseph.
EF, yeah.
Joseph Mengele.
I think that they found him.
Mengele. Argentina. I wanna
Yeah,
see.
they found. So his skeleton is stored at the Sao Paulo Institute for Forensic Medicine in Brazil.
Died in 1979, South Atlantic Ocean, off Portugal, Sao Paulo. I want to see if there's early life, later developments, exhumation in South America. Mengele worked
Maybe it
as
is
a
good.
carpenter in Buenos Aires, Argentina, while lodging in a boarding house in the suburb of Vicente Lopez. After a few weeks, he moved
You're right.
to the
yeah.
house of a Nazi sympathizer in the
Yep.
more affluent neighborhood of Florida Est. Worked as a salesman.
This was after.
Yeah, this is in the 50s.
Insane, dude. I'm thinking of another high-ranking Nazi member. I was reading about a lot of them. Dude, imagine doing that, and getting away with it.
He did get away with it. That's the crazy thing.
A lot of them did. Like you're saying, a lot of them moved to Argentina.
Who was
They speak German over there still.
Oh yeah, there's a huge Nazi population over there.
Fuck, that's crazy.
Who was the scientist America brought over to work on the moon missions? What was his name?
I have to figure this out. This is one of my
I know this is gonna bother me. I gotta look it up.
Wernher
Von Braun.
von Braun.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I could not think of his name.
Dude
I think
was-
of Warner Brothers. When I say
Maybe that's where it came from.
man, maybe.
Dude, literally was a high-ranking Nazi, and we were just like, "Yeah, you're okay. You're forgiven."
Yeah, you can
It's
do
fine.
stuff for us.
Just-
And a lot of all of NASA. NASA was run by Nazi scientists.
Yeah.
So like, I wonder what what happened after them. Like, was it passed on to more? You know what I mean? Is it still Nazi operated somehow, or like that mindset,
I don't think so.
or was it? I mean, it had
I
to
think
be.
people were just like, "Hey, this guy did these things, like whatever," but he's good at building rockets, so
Was the American public aware of that in the 60s and 70s?
probably not.
I doubt.
They probably had no idea.
They'd be pissed. They would-
Russia did the same thing. They had a ton of Nazi scientists coming.
Crazy. Yeah, I don't know, man. That whole. Do you feel like some of that history is kind of muddled? Like by us and by I feel like some of it's just not accurate. Not that the Holocaust didn't happen. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, like, it's such a forbidden thing. Like, I feel like we might have doctored some things, maybe, and then vice versa. Like, it might have been even more wild than we thought, or.
Probably.
I just feel like that's one of if there was one historical tragedy event that I had to pick on for being historically inaccurate, I would have to guess it would be that.
The Holocaust or just
Yeah.
World War II in general?
The Holocaust mainly. I mean, World War II, I'm sure. But I would say like what happened in Germany in the Holocaust.
When you say like muddled, what do you mean?
Like maybe either things were Hitler was demonized for a good reason, but I mean like maybe it was like Osama bin Laden in the United States. It became like a character to attach like a stigma to. Like maybe they It was propagandized.
Okay. I
Is
see
that what I'm
you
trying
mean.
to say?
Um,
Not that he wasn't evil, but
I think at first, like before Pearl Harbor, not really. Because there were a big movement. I don't know if it was big, but a movement in America at the time was eugenics, and eugenics is in direct correlation, literally, with what Hitler was saying, like a master race. You breed the best of the best to get the best of the best.
mm-hmm.
And what's this dude's name? He had a very famous case where his daughter got kidnapped back in I think the 30s. But he was very into eugenics, and there was like a Nazi movement in America for eugenics. And I don't think they were anti-war before Pearl Harbor, so they didn't give a fuck. They were just like, we don't want any part of that. I don't think they gave a shit about Hitler. I think he only became demonized in America was after Germany declared war on America.
That's interesting. Because there was Holocaust in other countries like Canada that we just ignore happening.
No one gives a shit about that.
The indigenous people.
Yeah, they got fucked on bad.
Nobody ever.
Or
Nobody
you
knows
could
that.
low-key say the Native Americans in the U.S.
Yeah, 100%. That's 100%. And if you say that to somebody that doesn't think that way, they get pissed.
They do.
Like, that's how everything. I mean, they have a point. They say, like, that's how every country was taken, but it doesn't make it right.
No.
You know, like, and they didn't do anything wrong. There's nothing that, like, instigated us to. They didn't do anything that, like, instigate us. We're just
No,
like, hey, we want this.
Hey, we just want your land.
Yeah.
And also, fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you.
You're
We're going to
different.
rape your women and children.
Yeah, you're a different color. Like, move, leave, get out of here.
Yeah, nobody thinks about that.
No, they don't. I'm glad you brought up the Canadian one because not a lot of people know about that.
It's like a massive secret.
I wonder if it's even taught in Canada.
Oh, I doubt it. I
Like-
wonder if they know. Like, if they, like, even, you know what I mean? Not taught, but, like, they know.
I know. I mean, like we touched on the Trail of Tears and stuff in history, but we didn't go into depth or anything. It was just like, well, the Trail of Tears happened. Andrew Jackson was not great to the Native Americans, and let's move on to the next period of history.
I want to get, like, a little article so I can explain it, because it's hard. I don't know. I haven't touched on it for, like, a year or two. I don't want to fuck it up. What the fuck happened here? Because this is very interesting.
It's fucked.
And it happened in the 50s, I think.
It wasn't that long ago.
Mm-mm.
And what's crazy, the Holocaust wasn't even that long ago. That was 10 years earlier.
Yeah, I always forget that. That was not. Yeah, that was less than 100 years ago.
There are people alive now who saw the Holocaust.
That's insane. My grandpa was born in 1941.
Was he?
I mean, so
He would have been
yeah.
little, but
He was still alive during
you know Rush?
the
band Rush.
Oh yeah,
Geddy Lee's parents, I think, survived the Holocaust. And he's
that's insane.
totally fine, kicking in Canada.
Dude, the internet like doxed it up.
Is it, like blocking it out?
I don't see a lot of information all of a sudden.
What I do know about it, for what little I kind of know about it, is they basically rounded all these native Canadians up and you treated them like shit, killed them, just buried them out back.
Yeah, they buried him out back of schools.
Yeah.
There's like unmarked mass grave sites in Canada, in their schoolyards, all over. And it's not just schoolyards; it's everywhere. There's like unmarked grave sites
churches, schools, just everywhere.
of indigenous people that they killed. How did they kill them?
Probably
Shoot.
shot them.
Yeah, I think that's what they did.
I don't think it was like systematic, like gassing them in chambers, but
Damn, dude, there's like
can't find it.
it's bizarre.
I'll try Googling real quick. What did you
Let's look that Reddit. I looked up Canadian genocide Reddit because I know that it's hard to find information on Google.
Canadian genocide indigenous?
There's interviews with people that were like a part of it that were brought up in the indigenous schools, and they give stories of like their best friends getting taken outside the school and getting killed and never coming back.
Here's a little blurb on it. Starting in the 1880s and for much of the 20th century, more than 150,000 children from hundreds of indigenous communities across Canada were forcibly taken from their parents by the government and sent to what were called residential schools. There's some more articles saying like Canada's unmarked graves, how residential schools carried out cultural genocide.
Does it say the year? The 18.
Started in the 1880s and for much of the 20th century. Well,
This
America
is-
had, after Pearl Harbor, America had internment camps for Japanese.
Yeah. Yeah, they treated them like shit.
It was like, you live here? Not anymore. You are going to live in this camp now.
It's so pick and choose.
I mean, we weren't, I mean, I'm sure there were probably executions, but nothing along the
wasn't
lines of that. But
Yeah. The indigenous people is pretty bad. 150,000 people's children.
that's a lot. That's a lot. And I bet
bad.
that number's pretty far
Bigger.
off,
Yeah.
but it's pretty low.
That's horrible. Like, I think that should be talked about a lot. It's not. That's a whole ass genocide
It is.
of children in Canada that were innocent in the 50s and 60s. And who knows if it went even further.
For decades it was going on and no one did
Yeah.
anything.
But I was like, you're talking about the gas chambers. That was fucked. He would feed them. They would say, you're gonna go take a hot shower and we're gonna give you food and clothes, and they would get them thinking they're gonna get all these nice things. Let them shower. They gave them a hot shower. They called it a hot shower because it would open the pores on their skin and let the Zyklone B gas seep into their pores and kill them quicker and better. That's horrible. That's just so fucked up.
Yeah, that's super fucked.
Like, here, I'm gonna promise you great things. Well, at the time for you, because you're starving and you don't have clothes and you haven't showered in like a month probably. So instead, we're gonna open your pores and then gas you out and kill you, suffocate you to death.
There's a lot of really good documentaries on it. One I watched, this lady was a survivor of Auschwitz-Birkenau. Oh man, just some of the shit they had to endure is just unheard of.
People are fucked up.
Yeah, sometimes when I'm out in the cold, sometimes I think like, man, someone in like a concentration camp had to go through this, but with very thin clothing, like wooden clog ass shoes, probably clothes that don't fit very well. They're starving to death, no hair, no blankets, no overcoats or anything. I'm like, I am out here in jeans, good shoes, a hoodie with a thick jacket over my hoodie, and I'm freezing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, I spent 5 minutes out here. I'm like, okay, I'm done. But that was every day for them.
Yep.
And there was no getting warm. There was no getting more food.
And the ironic thing is that that's how Hitler basically lost the war. He spread his troops too thin and sent 1 million soldiers to Russia with their summer gear, and they all froze to death.
Yeah, Operation Barbarossa was not bright.
No. He lost. How many people did he lose? Like over
Millions.
1 million?
Millions died in Stalingrad alone.
Yeah, he's kind of stupid for that. Why didn't you? How do you not think that one through?
The issue was, I think
It was the worst winter they had in a long time, I think.
he probably thought they could get to Moscow before the winter set in. And of course that didn't happen. So you can't just pull your forces out. Well, you can, but you're not going to.
Yeah.
So you are stuck in a winter in Russia, which is miserable. And everyone starves and freezes to death. It was like the Putin. Like, hey, we're going to get to Kiev in like less than a month. He's probably thinking that. Because the Blitzkrieg worked really well in the West.
Mm.
They got to France easy as fuck. He's probably, we can just do that in Russia. But they had their scorched earth policy and burned all the food and the houses.
Yeah.
Then you get there, it's like, okay, well, this is huge. We have a long way to go. We're spreading extremely thin, and it's getting cold.
I think they underestimated the terrain, like, extremely.
Yeah, Russian winters are not to be fucked around with.
That had to be a horrible death.
That would suck so bad.
I think that before you die from hypothermia, you get really, really warm and start sweating. And people will take all their clothes off because they think that they're overheating.
And that kills you even quicker.
Yep, it accelerates your death. It's like your body's last response of, like, we need to warm up. So you go into panic mode, basically.
Have you ever seen, like, an infographic of, like, a breakdown of country, how many people died per country?
Mm-mm.
Russia's is so goddamn high.
From the war?
Yeah, just the war alone. Like, I think America lost around 600,000 troops, which is a very high number. But when you get into Russia and Germany, Russia's like 60 million. If you see graphs of their male population, or like a line graph, when it gets into like the 40s area, it goes down so hard.
I wonder what percentage of men died in the war, like military.
I want to
men.
say, I thought it was like 18% of all men. Actually, I can look that up.
That is crazy.
I'm curious about that as well. What percentage of Russian... I spelled Russian wrong. Russian men died in World War II. World War II casualties of the Soviet... Okay. World War II... Loss of the Soviet Union were about 27 million, both civilian and military, from all war-related casualties. Exact figures are disputed. A figure of 20 million was considered official during the Soviet era. 1933 result effects of the war. This includes 8 million military deaths. So way more civilians were killed, it appears.
And that's totally a small number because they didn't want to report on just how many died.
I want to find a good number. I just want like a...
Yeah, the internet always beats around the bush.
I know, I just want a percentage.
Straight answer.
What percentage of the population died in World War II? World War II is the deadliest military conflict in history. An estimated total of 70 to 85 million people died. 3% of the world's population were killed in World War II, it says.
And that's including women, children. Like, imagine if you were a military age male. Like, you probably had like you say, 15 to 25% chance.
Yeah, they took them. That probably is still fucking with them today, that loss of that generation.
Mm-hmm.
And the same with, like, Ukraine. That's probably going to be fucking with them really hard, too.
So, like, our grandparents could have died and we might not have ever existed because of World War II.
Yeah.
Our great-grandparents.
That's crazy. I think, like, a football stadium holds, like, 40,000 people.
They do have I've seen this visual.
I'm curious. I just want to get a... So, it said, like, 80... On the high end, 85 million, so we'll take that number. 85 million divided by 40,000. That is 2,125 football stadiums.
Imagine that, like, laid out on the table. 2,000. Packed.
Like, if... Say there's a football stadium on top of us. You know how much space that already takes up?
Yeah.
2,125 of those. That's so many people.
That's like uncomprehendable. Like, you think, like, yeah, it's a lot. But
yeah, you can't even.
If you see that, you'd be like, what the fuck? Just people shoulder to shoulder.
I'm curious if a conflict like that ever, on that magnitude, happens again. It's like...
Yes.
You think so?
I think it's inevitable.
That's just so crazy.
If it's nuclear war, it's going to be 300 million stadiums filled.
Yeah, probably. Like, everyone is fucked.
Yeah, that's nuclear war would be insane. Now, okay, I got a question about, like, I always wonder this too. What if Hitler won? What if Germany, what if Germany took over? What would life be like if we were here, like, if we were still ourselves, like, what would life be like?
Well,
I always wonder.
I think in order for that to happen, America would not have been involved in the war. And I think America would have been fairly untouched. I think we would still be fairly the same. But Europe would look a hell of a lot different.
But do you think Hitler would have stopped at Europe? And I think he wanted...
Although America provides... Its geography is really, really good against, like, foreign invasions. We're surrounded by ocean.
It's impossible to invade us on land.
You can't. When I think Europe would have been pretty fucked. Although that begs the question, like, what would have happened to Japan? Because obviously Germany and Japan were allies. If Germany wins the war, do they go help out Japan?
Oh, I don't think. I wonder. I bet they take over. I bet they take over Japan. Well, that technically help them though. I don't think they let Japan stay Japan.
Maybe they do.
I wonder.
Japan just wanted their sphere of influence in the South Pacific area.
Yeah. But the way that we're taught about Hitler is like he wanted to take everything from everybody. So maybe it's just that mindset I have.
I don't know if I believe that. Although I agree, like, we are told that, but I think it's like feasibly, at least on that scale, in that time, to invade the U.S.
What do you think about Hitler's leadership?
Probably wasn't very good at it.
No, this is a hot topic.
I think he was charismatic.
Well, he brought the country out of poverty at like an incredible rate. I think he did like just number wise, like he was like extremely beneficial for the economy of Germany. Like he was a good leader economic wise.
Yeah, that's probably why a lot of people
Supported.
supported him. I mean, before that, your country was the francs, with the German franc, I think at the time, was worth like literally less than shit.
Mm-hmm.
People would say like they were burning the money to keep warm. It would cost thousands of francs just to get like a loaf of bread.
That's thousands of francs. Here, have some francs.
Have some francs. I was like, okay, I'll wipe my ass with them.
My massive franc.
But my issue with that comes with the Treaty of Versailles after World War One. I think that is a huge catalyst for why World War II happened.
Yeah.
Because the Allied powers wanted to fuck over Germany so bad. I'm like, man, if you guys wouldn't have done that, World War II might not have happened.
I wonder what the world looks like if World War II didn't happen. Or do we have nuclear technology?
I don't know.
I wonder.
We might have developed it a lot later.
I think we would have ended up developing it eventually anyway.
Yeah, I don't think it would have happened as fast.
The Tsar bomb was a fucking.
The Tsar bomb is fucking nutty.
It's a-
You know that was only half filled.
Yep, so the pilot could get away, and he only had a 50% chance anyway. That. You ever see a visualization of the Tsar bomb?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck. It's compared to like Nagasaki.
That was like a pin drop.
That blows my mind. And like you say, it was turned down in power.
That's not even the most powerful nuclear weapon we have today.
I wonder how much more powerful is the modern nuclear weapons.
I'm curious. I haven't really looked into
I think
it.
they measure it in like TNT.
Like kilotons or megatons,
Yeah.
gigatons.
I have to know.
I'm curious.
What the hell?
I had to set an alarm. I got to set another one.
For what?
I forgot something at home, so I need to go stop, get it, and then I can go to Columbus.
The current largest nuclear bomb that's operational today is in the U.S. nuclear arsenal. It's the B-83 with a maximum yield of 1.2 megatons. So let's see this Tsar bomba's megaton yield.
It said 1.2.
Mm-hmm. $50 megatons.
Okay, so the Tsar Bomba was big as fuck. It was just unnecessarily big.
Let me look up bomb ever made. Because they might have deactivated. Yeah, it was a Tsar bomba. Fuck. 50 megatons. Today is 1.2 megatons. And that's a wipe your state off the map bomb. Is like our modern nuclear weapons.
Yeah, that's like your city's going bye-bye.
Imagine dropping a Tsar bomb on New York. Just be like, fuck you guys.
This whole
You would take
city.
out the entire Western Hemisphere.
Yeah, Manhattan's gone.
Oh, Manhattan's going. I think. Yeah. I wonder what the nuclear. Okay, where did they drop that?
It was
in the ocean, but where?
No, it wasn't in the ocean. It was on an island.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
It was north. I wonder if I can find it on
North
Google Maps.
Sentinel Island.
Jesus
That's
Christ. North Sentinel Island would no longer be an island.
No.
It was in Siberia. Oh god, my world map is all fucked. I think it was like right here on this island, this little stretch.
Where was the closest civilization?
I don't know.
I wonder.
It had effects on people, I think.
Didn't it break windows?
I think.
Yeah, it might be
I'll
another
need
one.
to catch up my knowledge on the Tsar Bomba.
I always wonder about this, and nobody's ever talked about this for some reason. All the sea life that it killed. You dropped a nuclear fucking bomb. If we dropped a nuclear bomb on a rainforest, people would freak the fuck out.
We've blown many up in the
Oceans.
Bikini Atoll.
Yeah, that's fucked up.
The U.S.'s largest nuclear test was Castle Bravo.
What's in Casa Bravo?
It was big. I don't know how many.
Are there animals?
Castle Bravo was the name of it, and it was detonated under the sea.
Oh. So you're destroying reefs and
Yeah, everything in that area is
entire.
fucked.
Yeah.
Castle Bravo. Castle Bravo is the 6th largest nuclear test explosion in history, exceeded by the Soviet Tsar Bomba at approximately 50 megatons test. I think Castle Bravo was 24.2 megatons.
That's gigantic. That's half the Sarbama, which is huge.
Yeah. Ronlap Atoll. Let's look up some images. This shit is gnarly. Yep. Yeah, nukes are scary shit.
Yeah, they are. I hope that we don't ever come to nuclear war. I'm so torn on it, if we do or don't. Because it would be a self-destruction of your country.
Yeah.
It's like it'd have to be like an absolute, like, okay, Russia is about to succumb to the United States or whoever. Like, we have to stop it. We know this is inevitable. It's a suicide. Like,
do you think, like, in 1941, before Pearl Harbor, people in the U.S. were like, let Europe do their thing. We're not going to get involved with that. Like, the same mindset as us. Like, it won't happen.
I think you had the same mix. Because you got some people who were all for it, and then some people were like, it's not our fucking country.
They're probably thinking, we're not going to get dragged into another war. And then they did.
What would be the modern day Pearl Harbor?
Pearl Harbor 2. I don't know.
Pearl Harbor, the sequel. I wonder what would, like, inspire us. Like, what would be bad enough to... Russia would have to do something, like, or China.
Well, 9/11 dragged us into the Middle East.
Yeah. So, like, say Russia takes claim of, like, an attack on American soil. I think, yeah, that would
probably piss off enough Americans and give Congress what it needs to go to war.
It just doesn't benefit anybody. I don't understand. Just stop. I know that sounds so stupid.
I know.
Come on, just stop, guys. Please.
I hate when people say, like, man, you guys live in interesting times right now. Like, I don't want to live in interesting times.
Neither do
I want to
I.
live in very boring times that don't get remembered. 'Cause
Yeah.
life is easy that way.
Man, so people that don't have, like, access to social media and the internet are living in bliss. They're not aware of a lot of this. They're not aware of any of it. So, like, they're just living day by day, and when a nuclear bomb fallout takes them out or
They're like,
something.
what the fuck is that? And then whoosh, they're dead.
Yeah. But, like, I don't know, worrying about it doesn't benefit us. So what are we going to do? We're not going to stop a nuclear bomb or a country from nuking.
That's why I feel bad for people who are, like, engulfed in the news and politics. Like, you have to live a miserable life.
Because it's miserable.
I know. And
That's how they keep you in.
I unsubscribed from, like, all the news subreddits because I would read them and I'd just get, like, either frustrated or just, man, this sucks. Like, everything sucks. I didn't like feeling like that all the time.
Yeah. And I have a problem with Twitter's trending because a lot of that's news-based, like politics.
Yeah.
And if I see something that worries me, I'll click on it and I'll start reading about it. And I'm just like, fuck. Like, I'm in the same boat where this makes me feel like anxiety.
Yeah, I just had to ditch it. I couldn't. Occasionally I'll go over to, like, the news shit on Reddit and start reading it. I'm like, I don't need this right now because every headline just
Negative.
Yeah, it's all negative. There's nothing positive.
That's how they keep people. Because when you work on somebody's anxiety and fear, it makes them want to know what's going on. So that's why people watch Fox News and CNN. Because they'll use. So I paid attention a couple months ago to, like, their verbiage. It's very specific. They'll pick out, like, today there was a catastrophic. Like, they use words that make you say, what this is horrible. Like, I see it. Like, what's happening? They'll use words in the tone that they use, and the things they show is very strategic. Like, it's just made so people are engaged.
It's a trap.
It's a trap, yeah. It's all set up very intelligently by producers and whoever the fuck else is doing it. It's on purpose. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. It's a bad cycle you don't want to get in. Don't watch the news.
Yeah, it's so hard to get away from.
But, like,
it.
you want to stay up to date on things.
But being up to date means just being miserable.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword because I feel like I'm missing out on something. Like,
I agree. I also feel like that.
but I get it. Do you want to cut it since you got to go to Columbus?
I want to talk about one more thing.
All right, go for it.
Florida.
What happened in Florida?
They passed a bill that I think has to go to Congress or the Supreme Court. So it's not in effect yet.
I didn't hear about this bill.
It is banning all social media for
16.
kids under 16.
I saw one, like, tweet about it.
That's fucked.
They just want to ban social media
Yeah.
for?
If you're under 16, you cannot use social media.
I'm gonna say something.
You're gonna say, "Oh, man, that's great."
I support that.
I don't.
I do.
I do not at all.
I do.
Why?
Unless it's don't straight out ban it. Like you cannot. If you have well, this is a slippery slope. I see what you're saying. Because like you can't say, well, you need parental like vision or supervision. Fuck, I don't know. I think social media is a absolute cancer to children. It's so bad for their self-esteem and their development. Their attention span is still developing, and social media fucking destroys it. Your child is not going to focus on building a business if they're 12 years old watching 30-second reels for 3 hours a day on TikTok. It's just not good.
I agree that stuff is like brain rot, but that falls on the parents. I don't think that's for the government to decide. Being 16 and banning all social media from you, like, that's what bothers me about it is the hypocrisy in it. Mainly in the Republican sides, they'll shout, "Oh, my freedoms! I don't want to wear a fucking mask here." Yet you're gonna take away something from people and get rid of their freedom to view what they want.
I see what you're saying.
Like, if social media is so bad for kids, then why haven't guns been banned? Because the amount of school shootings, like, kids are dying. They're getting their heads blown off in school. So why don't we just ban guns if it's killing kids? Which is significantly worse than their attention span. But you have your freedoms, right? You got your freedoms, my freedoms.
I'm not one of those like freedom like fuckers. Like
I know. I just hate the hypocrisy in it.
Yeah, I get it. I think if it was coming from a different population, it might go over a little better. But I see what you're saying. It's very hypocritical.
I think it's such a stupid.
I know that's a hot take on that, but I just believe that social media is so new and it's so damaging, and for a child especially. It's just, I don't know. It's a bad place for a child to be in today's social media. It's going to create a narcissist, because narcissism runs fucking rampant in our country right now, and nobody wants to talk about that. It's gotten so much worse in the last like 10 to 15 years. So you're creating people that are going to lack empathy. They're going to have a self-obsession, and they're going to do things that only fit their own agenda, and they're going to be so focused on how they look. That's just like we're talking about one thing that's going to happen. Yeah. That's one problem. Is narcissism in the youth. It's going to create the self-esteem issues. They're going to be exposed to just very bad things. I think
one of the bad ones, like unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, it's self-esteem.
It just hurts you.
And when you're 15, 16, they're talking about 16 and under. I don't know if I support 16 and under. Maybe 13 and under. I would support. I don't think any. And the parents, you say, it should be in the parents' hands. So many parents just fucking suck.
Yeah,
I don't think that
parents.
They can raise their children in a lot of cases. They shouldn't have children. So I think that you're right, though. That's a slippery slope when the government gets involved in what people can and can't watch or do. But I think that the parents are so shitty that there's some cases where maybe the government should step in and be like, you're not raising your children. You're creating a fucked up society and a fucked up generation. Like, we have to try to help. And if it's in the government's good judgment, which usually it's not, but sometimes it is, and I think it can be an acceptance to the rule. But like, I don't believe in banning guns, because then this is my theory on that, is that law-abiding citizens, why do you take guns away from law-abiding citizens? Criminals don't care about laws. They're going to get them anyway. So that's my take on it.
I agree. Guns. I don't think one bad apple should determine the bunch.
Yeah.
We haven't got into guns. We can do that next week.
Yeah. I was just giving an analogy. I don't want to go deep into it.
I do next week.
Yeah, for sure. That's a hot topic that I enjoy talking about. I like guns. That's no secret.
I like guns.
I'm like...
You really like guns.
If I could put a grenade in the hands of a 4-year-old, I probably would. That's my problem.
Here, Tim, play with this.
What the hell's this?
What's this thing do?
What's this? Oh, shit. Yeah. But with the social media thing, I see what you're saying. Like, I don't so much disagree with you. I just think that maybe how about this? We don't ban it, but we start talking about its dangers more. Because I don't think that children and people are aware. I think that they get told, but I don't think that it's studied enough the damage that it causes.
I think that's a step in the right direction. Is
Yeah, I think
educating
maybe
people on
taking a step in the right
how
direction.
bad it can be, and like it's like what you see online is not the actual person. It is a highlight reel of their life.
It's just so hard to convince children.
It is because they're extremely impressionable.
Yeah. I don't know. Even for us, it's damaging.
Yeah,
It's not
it's
good.
like if I look on, I see someone my age driving like Ferraris and Lambos, and I'm like, oh, well, here I am. I'm at an airport doing a podcast.
Silly old me. Yeah.
Right? Like, where did I go wrong?
Yeah, and we work at a machine shop. Like, we're not miserable people. But man, I want to be rich.
That would make life so
How
easy.
could you be miserable and rich?
I don't think you can.
But they all say they are. Everybody that's rich says that their money's not whatever because you have it. If you
Yeah,
didn't have
right.
it-
Like, and then they say, well, I used to struggle too. Well, you don't anymore.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about this shit. Like, you don't have to worry about putting food on your table.
But like, okay, well then give me your money and you can go back to
Right.
struggling if it's not so bad.
Give me half of what you're worth, and
No,
maybe
no,
you'll
do
be
that.
happy.
That's what I'm saying. Money solves almost every issue except for loneliness. But well, you can't be that sad in your Ferrari.
Right?
Like, I'm sad today. I'm gonna buy a Lamborghini and I'm gonna go to fucking Hawaii on my private jet and swim with a fucking sea serpent. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
you can do that now. Or it's just you have time. I think that money buys time, and time is what is important. And they have the time to do the life experiences that you and I don't. And that's the most valuable thing. Because at the end of the day, money buys you time. That's what money is.
And everybody wants time.
Yeah, because
You don't want to spend 8 hours a day at work.
or 3 hours a day cooking when you could just fucking hire a chef to
Right,
cook
or
you
just
something.
literally go out and buy whatever the fuck you want without having to worry about it affecting your bank account.
Yeah, like imagine like right now you want an Amazon. You're like, I want this buy, and not worrying.
Yeah,
Like that just
that would
sounds.
be nice.
Yeah, like you can't be bored. I mean, now we're saying this is poor people, but
But God's rich, being rich sound fucking easy.
yeah,
Easy as fuck.
yeah. Once you get that, okay, so like
If your biggest problem to me is like, oh, I'm pretty lonely, then you have it fucking made.
yeah,
You're not like, oh, I might lose my house next week.
like my family might not have food today,
Right.
or I might have to sacrifice my meal so my children and wife can eat today.
That's not a worry for you.
Yeah, or you don't care, or my power might go out and I might freeze to death today.
Meanwhile, you can be like, oh, Chipotle Bowl sounds fantastic right now.
Let's go buy a franchise, like,
Right?
I get it. I think that maybe they want to put problems onto themselves to make themselves feel better about being rich. I don't know. Like they want to act like it's it sucks.
Always me.
Oh, it's always like Eeyore, you know what I mean? Like Mitchell's Eeyore. Everybody hates me.
This sucks.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like they put the problems on themselves just to act like life's not nice. But then a lot of them commit suicide. So like I don't know, like Robin Williams, but that's just
Well,
one example. Chester Bennington.
Having like genuine depression versus just being a sad rich person are two different things.
That's a good point. Like having like a genuine mental illness is different than being rich and just being sad.
Right.
Like you were depressed before you were rich. Like you're not.
Yeah,
gonna-
you are depressed.
Your brain's broken. Like you know what I mean? Like that's different. I
You're
get
not,
it.
you're
I
not
get
just
it.
a sad rich guy.
Yeah, if you're a sad rich guy, you're not going to kill yourself. You're going to buy a Lamborghini and smoke crack in your Porsche and record it and name yourself
Put it on social media for 16-year-olds to see.
and name yourself Hunter Biden.
I hate the Hunter Biden thing. Pisses me off so bad.
Why?
It's because that's all they focus on. Like Hunter Biden did
Yeah.
this. Hunter Biden.
Oh,
look,
yeah.
look at his dick. Look at his fucking dick. Like, dude, there are genuine issues, and you guys are focusing on this guy's fucking cock.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
Like, get over it.
Yeah, I get it. But the memes are funny. You get the pictures are hilarious.
I haven't seen him.
You gotta
I've
look
seen
at
the
these
dick one.
Yeah, that's a good one. But the ones where he's got the where he's filming himself with like the crack rocks and he's like breathing into the camera. It's just so funny. But yeah, he's not. It's not. I get what you're saying. It's not the president of the United States. Like he's over here. This is his son. But the business dealings is interesting. That's what people should be focusing on.
But it's his dick they worry about.
Yeah, like leave his wiener alone. Like,
dude, look at it. It's fucking massive.
I mean, yeah, good for Hunter Biden.
Right?
Like you're giving him more of an ego now. But like, yeah, there's more pressing issues at the table, and you're right. The Republicans are like hyper focused on some guy's wiener. Like, come on, guys, you can do better than that. You know?
Yeah, fish something else up.
Yeah, there's a
It's
lot.
getting stale.
Yeah, there's a lot to fish out there. What are they on? What are they on now? They moved on from his wiener.
Well, now it's all Texas.
Yep, Texas is a big deal. Yep, and the barbed wire. What do you feel about that? Like, do you think it's immoral to put barbed wire underwater? Is that like I don't know, quite an extreme way to keep them out? But like at the end of the day, like just don't come then, and you won't have to deal with barbed wire.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's two sides to the record here. Like, I mean, if I was in a shit-ass country and I had the opportunity to go to a place where I'm not facing extreme poverty and death, I'd take it.
I can't blame them.
No, I can't blame them. But
I'm not mad
in
at
the
them.
same vein, it's like there's a legal way to do it. It's probably harder than it has to be. And I get how you don't have all the time in the world, so you have to make a decision. I think it's tough. It is tough for me.
They're doing it for their families, and unfortunately, we're the only country that they can do it in.
Yeah.
So we're just the ones that they choose.
It's not like they can just pull themselves up by their bootstraps and build an enterprise, or just go find another job.
Yeah, I don't blame them for wanting to come here. I just don't think that it's not my responsibility. You know what I mean? To deal with.
I get what you mean. Like
I'm sorry you have problems, but that's not my problem to worry
I
about.
have my problems here too, and it might not equate to yours, but they're still my problems.
Yeah, I just don't want. It's not my. I don't want to deal with them. Like, sorry, but I hope everything is better. You know what I mean? Like, or like when people trauma dump on you.
Oh yeah.
It's all the time, and you're just like yeah, man. Like, hope everything is better, but sorry, it's not like my.
I hate when people like play down your issues. Like, say, I don't know, you got your foot blown off or crushed in an accident, you can't walk anymore, and I'm like, man, I had a rough day at work, like, and then you pull out well, dude, I can't fucking walk. It's like, okay, sucks to be you, but I still had a shit day. That doesn't mean
Yeah.
I can't not have a bad day.
That happens all the time with like people that are disabled.
I know. Well,
or even just like depressed or something.
just shit people, or they might say like, well, there's people dying in Ukraine. It's like, well, sucks to be them,
but they're not me.
Yeah, I still have my shit I got to deal with here.
Yeah, like I had a bad day today. Fuck them. Like,
you selfish piece of shit. I don't.
Yeah.
Everyone's selfish. I'm selfish.
everybody's narcissistic to a degree, but there's a spectrum, and some people have a personality disorder, narcissistic personality disorder, and then they're normal everyday people. Everybody wants to focus on themselves.
Of course they do. You want the best for yourself.
Yeah, just some people take it to an extreme. I want to talk about narcissism and psychopathy and all that stuff. We should get into that next week.
I'm gonna take some notes.
Yeah.
And
That's-
the Pandora Papers. I gotta look at that.
Pandora Papers is that's a crazy one.
I googled it. I can't remember what it was.
It was just like basically foreign governments and leaders were funneling offshore like billions of dollars and they got caught. And like we're talking like presidents of countries. And it was swept under the rug and like not talked about.
Interesting thing before we like kind of close out here. I'm subscribed to the Presidents subreddit. I think it's interesting. I like reading about the presidents. I don't know why I didn't know this, but George Washington had slaves,
Mm-hmm.
and he would rotate them every 6 months because the law in Pennsylvania said that if a slave is a resident in Pennsylvania for 6 months, they can be declared free after 6 months. So he would rotate his slaves out so they never got that residency in Pennsylvania.
Damn, bro had a third string quarterback in that. Bitch.
Yeah, and his teeth were made of slave teeth,
Yeah.
or his dentures. Like, damn. Everyone's like always hyping up G-dubs. But he's actually a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, he's walking L, not a dub.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
But was he? Because back then, that was like
Well,
that was normal.
John
and accepted.
Adams was very against slavery, and he was the second president, so he was alive while Washington was.
John Adams was woke.
He was woke, but he was hip to not enslaving people, so that's cool in my book.
Maybe when they said free the slaves, they meant just don't make them cost money.
Maybe.
Everybody's like, free the slaves. Fuck. All right. Anyways, lead us out.
Yeah, we'll head out of here. Well,
Our brains are fried.
yeah, that's it.
It's been a long day.
We'll catch you guys next week on the Stuck at the Airport podcast.
Have a good one, ladies and genitals.
Catch you later.